Good evening, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. There are less than 2 hours until possibly TikTok shuts down in the United States, perhaps temporarily, due to a ban on TikTok kicking in. The U.S. has a law that it passed last year that says TikTok needs to be sold by its Chinese company owner ByteDance, or it will get banned on January 19th. Well, January 19th starts in an hour and 54 minutes and 35 seconds. TikTok has actually said or suggested that they will stop working in the U.S., that the app will stop working in the U.S. on January 19th, which midnight Eastern time, I don't know for sure, but it certainly seems like it could stop working, again, at least temporarily, in the U.S. in less than 2 hours. It's possible that when Trump takes office, he will take some action, for example, to give an extension to TikTok. That's all a bit murky right now. Whether he will do that, if he does take action, whether it will result in TikTok immediately becoming live again. So we'll talk about that. We don't know, but it's looking like, it's not certain. It's looking like in less than 2 hours, TikTok might stop working in the United States. Wow. So we're going to bring you live coverage. We got the countdown clock going. We're going to take your comments and questions on the air. I got my phone here. I'm going to see whether TikTok works or not at midnight. And we are getting ready to bring you coverage of this deadline. Thank you, by the way, to Rick D. and our new member, and Adrian R. for the gift memberships. Thanks so much, Adrian R. And big thanks to our moderators in the chat. We have Ruth Krafasi there moderating. Sabrina is moderating. Thank you. Roberts May Queen. They are all there. Beth Mythical, all moderating over on YouTube. Linda Belk and Larry moderate for us over on X. Over on Twitch, we have Surly Dev. And let's see. Oh, by the way, thanks to Melky GS for subscribing on Twitch. And also our Facebook mods. Thanks to them. I want to give them a shout out. Let's see here. Margaret Riley, Lou Green. No, Lou Green is one of our viewers and subscribers. Thanks for subscribing, Lou and Michael Clayton. Margaret Riley, thanks for moderating. Kay Lowry Body, they both also subscribe. Thank you. Diane Allworth, our subscriber. Thank you. And Marie Goodson Hamilton, our subscriber. Thank you. All right, so let's get into this. TikTok is a extremely popular video viewing app, I would say. Video content. Lots of videos on TikTok. Reportedly, about 170 million people use it. I don't know if all 170 million people. I don't know if all 170 million people use it regularly, but that's the figure I keep seeing in the stories. But it's very, very popular. I use it. Many people use it. Many people. There are many creators who make a living on it, many businesses who use it, all kinds of major advertisers advertise on it. 1 hour and 51 minutes. Is it just going to stop working? Thank you to Sherry, our new member, and Malta McMurchie, our new member. Let's see here. We're going to read some comments. Hold on a second. Hang on a second here. All right, so if you have comments, write to me on X at Lookner on X is where you can reach me. Where you can reach me, and we're going to give you some updates on this. Something I want to mention to you is this. So TikTok is actually showing. If you go into the app now, because I did and I saw it myself, here is the message you get if you go into TikTok tonight. Look at this. Important update from TikTok. We regret that a U.S. law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19th and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore our service in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned. Ludmilla, our viewer, thinks it's not going to get shut down. Well, something has to greatly change. I don't see anything that's going to change before Monday because Trump isn't in office right now. The Biden administration, last night TikTok and came out and they said basically, if we don't get some kind of further assurances from the Biden administration that this is not going to be enforced, this ban, we're gonna have to shut down. And the Biden administration is showing no sign of giving any further assurances. So it certainly looks like it's going to stop working, at least temporarily. Goat Mom in Arizona says, my adult son makes his living on TikTok. So this, in case you haven't been following the story, this law was passed by Congress and signed by President Biden. And the issue, what the law says that TikTok needs to be sold by its Chinese company that owns it. The idea of the law, behind the law, is that the U.S. government is worried that the company ByteDance that owns this has ties to the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party. And there's a couple big worries. One worry that motivated this law, one worry is that this app collects personal data from its users and that the Chinese government could obtain that data, which could pose risks to the U.S. And also another concern is that many people, over 100 million people, well over 100 million people reportedly use this app in the U.S. And a lot of people, get their news off of this app. They watch videos, they find out what's going on around the world. And most people, I believe most people use the app in a way where they kind of just scroll through and, for people who like TikTok, one of the big allures of TikTok, one of the big attractive features is that you scroll through and it shows you videos. It decides what to show you. And it picks videos that you didn't know were out there and it shows them to you. And it has this algorithm, this computer program, which figures out what to show you, which many people think does a really good job of giving you stuff you want to see. So, many people are just trusting the app to show it stuff. And the idea that the concern on the part of the U.S. government is that the Chinese government could basically tell ByteDance to tell the app to show certain types of videos to Americans. So, for example, maybe there's some political policy that China disagrees with the U.S. about, and maybe the Chinese government tells ByteDance, hey, why don't you show some videos of people agreeing with our side, agreeing with our view of this policy? Now, I'm not saying this has happened. I'm just saying that's the kind of concern. The concern is that this could be used as a propaganda instrument by the Chinese government. So those are the two chief concerns that motivated this law. The Chinese government getting their hands on personal data of American users, and also the Chinese government using this app to influence American opinion. And so the U.S. government passed this law that said, you need to sell it. Chinese company ByteDance, you need to sell this company or you're going to get banned. Well, they haven't sold it, and the ban starts in 1 hour and 46 minutes. Now, there's been these questions as to whether Trump would enforce the ban. The Biden administration said, we're not going to enforce it because it's on Sunday and it's basically one more day till the Trump administration. So it's up to the Trump administration. But the Trump administration has to choose to enforce the ban. But TikTok is already saying that they're going to shut down anyway. You might say, why is TikTok going to shut down if the Trump administration might not enforce the ban? Well, it gets a little complex, but the idea here is that TikTok uses other companies to help it get its app to US users. Companies like Oracle, which store US user data, and Google and Apple, which have the TikTok app in their app stores. TikTok can't function without these other companies. And these other companies, if they keep helping TikTok stay live after the ban is officially in place, they are putting themselves at legal risk because they could face huge fines for basically helping TikTok break the ban. Now, the idea here is the Trump administration might say, well, we're not going to enforce it. But what if they change their mind? Last night, TikTok said, well, for the companies we work with, basically, we need more of a better reassurance that this is not going to be enforced. So now you might argue, so they have said that they're not going to stay on, they're not going to stay live because they're protecting the companies they work with. I don't even know if companies like Google and Oracle and Apple would even want to work with TikTok while the ban's official, even if it's not being enforced. Also, another thing that could be going on here is TikTok, maybe they've chosen to shut down because they want to put pressure on the US government. Maybe TikTok is thinking, you know what? Even if they're not going to enforce the ban, let's shut off for a day. And we think a lot of Americans are going to call their congressmen and say, and congresswomen and say, hey, I want my TikTok back. So this could be a strategy by TikTok to put pressure on the US government to work something out that TikTok will be okay with, and that ByteDance will be okay with. So, there's a lot of things that could be going on here, but TikTok is saying that they are going to shut the app down. And my guess is that it'll be at midnight Eastern time. I mean, it could be midnight Pacific time. My guess is it's midnight Eastern time because technically speaking, if the app is working past midnight Eastern time, they're defying the ban. Technically speaking, on the East Coast, the ban starts at midnight. So we'll have to see what happens here. But they have posted that just in the last few hours. It came on the app. I saw it on my app. I assume if you have TikTok and you open it up, you will see that message too. And they are saying the law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19th and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. Can you get it with a VPN? I do not know. I don't know if that will work. I'm not telling you what to do or not do. Some people might try to avoid the ban by using a VPN. I don't know if it'll work. I was reading an article last night from the Washington Post, and they said they don't know if it's going to work. Now, Michael John says it'll be midnight in Puerto Rico in 43 minutes. That's an interesting point. Might it stop working in Puerto Rico earlier? If it's, let's see, Puerto Rico time, I don't know. Puerto Rico time is 11:18. Yes. So that's interesting. AW says ads on YouTube Shorts will skyrocket since they have no real competition. Let's see here. Elizabeth thinks VPN will not work. Let's see. Justin King says the TikTok party is over. Sunday Sunny Florida says several other apps being shut down as well. I saw a report about this, about apps that ByteDance owns. Let me see something here. CapCut is video editing software which is owned by ByteDance. And CapCut isn't explicitly named in the law that would ban TikTok, but it's possible under the language of the law it applies to CapCut. So I don't know specifically. I have to look up CapCut, but that is a video editing, well-known video editing app, I believe it is. Let me see here. Yes, and I've seen reports that CapCut has a similar message. Yes. So multiple accounts I follow, like PopCrave. PopCrave has a message that was posted from CapCut on the CapCut app. CapCut, again, is owned by ByteDance, which owns TikTok. And the message says, important update from CapCut. We regret that a U.S. law banning CapCut will take effect on January 19th and force us to make our service temporarily unavailable. It's basically the same message as this, but for CapCut. So ByteDance, the owner of TikTok and CapCut, believes that the law applies to CapCut as well. They have posted a similar message on CapCut. B&O News Live also mentioned this as well. Here, let me show you. B&O News posted it. But it's the same message. It's the same message as on the TikTok app. It's just rewritten for CapCut. Here, look. As B&O News Live says, CapCut, a popular video editing app owned by TikTok owner ByteDance, is also shutting down the U.S. We regret that a U.S. law banning CapCut will take effect on January 19th and force us to make our service temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore our service in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your effort. Please stay tuned. Okay. By the way, thank you to Tyler Bender. Tyler says, will people on the West Coast have 3 extra hours? I just don't know about the timing. That's why I said in this headline, TikTok could shut down in U.S. in 1:38:36. I don't know how they're going to handle the timing. They're certainly giving every indication that they're going to shut down on Sunday. But is this Sunday for everywhere in the country? Sunday in each time zone? Beats me. We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you, Devin Morrill, for being a member. Thank you, Maga since 4092, but please respect the chat rules. Thank you, Kieran, for your support. Oh, hold on a second. But Kieran broke the rules as well. A lot of people breaking the rules in the chat. Thank you, Clay Turner. Clay thinks it will shut down and get public reaction. I think Clay thinks that maybe the company is shutting it down where maybe they don't have to. I mean, the company thinks they have to, but do they really think that they have to? Or are they just shutting it down to get like people angry in the U.S. and put pressure on the government? Interesting question. Thank you, Catherine, for your support. Catherine says, I don't believe TikTok is good for this nation, mental health and endless scrolling and the way it gathers data, it can pose a risk, those trends. Thank you, Rita, for your support. Rita says, TikTok not available for download in China? I believe you can still use it in other countries. Although TikTok, off the top of my head, I don't know. There are other programs like TikTok in China. But is TikTok itself in China or do they have other apps? Yeah, TikTok I am seeing has, I'm seeing some different things about it here. Yeah, so the New York Times had an article last year. There is no TikTok in China, but there is Douyin, D-O-U-Y-I-N. ByteDance owns both TikTok and Douyin. But I guess there's no TikTok in China. There's an app that ByteDance owned called Douyin in China. All right. Anyways, but I know TikTok is available. I would think it's going to be available in other countries where it's not banned. It has been banned in India for several years now. I think since 2020. Thank you, Ken Lance, for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you, PH Survivor 92, who points out that the TikTok owner, the owner of ByteDance or the CEO of ByteDance, I think it is, the CEO of ByteDance, is supposed to be at the inauguration. On Monday. Yeah, the TikTok CEO is going to attend the inauguration. I'll show you something about that. Hang on a moment here. TikTok CEO to rally with Trump before inauguration as ban looms. The TikTok chief executive, Xu Zhiqiu, plans to attend Trump's rally Sunday and the swearing in on Monday, publicly aligning himself with the incoming commander-in-chief who has pledged to save the popular app from a ban set to take effect this weekend. Here is a picture of him from the Washington Post. That is the CEO of TikTok. By Jabin Botsford of the Washington Post. The CEO of ByteDance, which owns TikTok, has been invited to sit on the dais Monday as an honored guest as Trump is sworn in as president, reports the Washington Post. Thank you, Malta McMurtry, our new member, and Sherry, our new member. And also Snowboy. Yeah, Snowboy, we literally just discussed CapCut. And CapCut is also, CapCut is owned by ByteDance as well. And it looks like, and ByteDance is posting the same message tonight on CapCut as they are on TikTok, saying that they believe this law banning TikTok also applies to CapCut. So they're going to be temporarily shutting down CapCut, at least temporarily shutting down CapCut. Thank you, Snowboy, for your support. And also Clay Turner and Lucia Horizo. Lucia believes this app risks national security. Time to stop bending over to children in their fits until it's secure. Go outside. You can take a few days off of TikTok. Devin Morrill says, I thought Biden was throwing it in Trump's lap. Yeah, again, I know it's a bit confusing. The Biden administration said we're not going to enforce the ban. But TikTok is saying we're shutting it down anyway. So no one's knocking on the TikTok office door and saying you have to shut it down. TikTok themselves is shutting it down tonight. Now, there's some different reasons why they might be doing it. They have said that they don't want to put they have implied that they don't want to put the companies that work with them at risk. And also it's not even clear that the companies that work with them would continue working with them. Remember, TikTok uses other companies like Apple, Google, and Oracle to get to American consumers. American viewers can't get it on their phone or their iPad or whatever without these other companies helping TikTok out. And if starting at midnight tonight, if these other companies keep helping TikTok, they're technically violating the ban. They're technically opening themselves up to huge fines. Now, maybe the U.S. government might not enforce the ban and might never fine them, but maybe they'll decide to fine them later. So, I don't even know that these companies would even do this, would even keep helping them if they wanted to stay live after midnight. But TikTok suggested that they're doing it to protect their companies. I don't know if that's the only reason they're shutting down. They might be doing to put pressure on the U.S. government. But you can see, this was last night. TikTok said the statements issued today by the Biden White House and the Department of Justice have failed to provide the necessary clarity and assurance to the service providers that are integral to maintaining TikToks available to over 170 million Americans, like Google and Oracle and Apple. Unless the Biden administration immediately provides a definitive statement to satisfy the most critical service providers, assuring non-enforcement, unfortunately, TikTok will have to go dark on January 19th. So TikTok is, in a sense, choosing to go dark because they're not being forced to, but maybe they are being forced to, because it's possible that these companies they work with would just not help them anymore, would not continue to work with them until the ban is lifted, even if it's not being enforced. Speaking of which, check this out. Oracle prepares to start shutting TikTok servers from 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 2 a.m. GMT. The information reports. So Oracle works with TikTok, and the report says leaders at Oracle, the main cloud computing provider for TikTok's U.S. operations, have told some staff to prepare to shut down servers that host U.S. TikTok data as soon as 9 p.m. Eastern Time, in advance of a U.S. law banning the app starting on Sunday. So TikTok can't keep working even if they want to, if these other companies that work with them are not going to keep working with them while the ban is in effect, whether or not it's being enforced. So Oracle, they are again the main cloud computing provider for TikTok. They're shutting down their servers. So my guess is that TikTok probably can't work if Oracle shuts down their servers. Now, Matthew Rupert says my app is down. Hey, I'm going to try my TikTok app. Hold on a second. Let me sign out and let me go back in. TikTok is not available. I just got a message. TikTok is not available. Hey guys, I just got a message. TikTok is not available. I just got the message right now. TikTok is not available. I just got it. Hang on a moment. Breaking news. I just got it on my phone. Breaking news. I'm going to put it on the screen. Hold on a second. Hold on one moment. I got to post this too. Breaking news. I just got on my phone. TikTok is not available. Just got this when I tried to use TikTok on my phone. I'm going to show it to you guys right now. Breaking news. Breaking news. Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the United States. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. I am changing our headline. Breaking news, TikTok starts shutting down app in United States. There is our breaking news. Breaking news. Hold on, I got to fix the headline here. I got to fix the headline. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Look at this, guys. Look at this. They really did it. They really did it. One of the viewers said they couldn't use it. They really did it. Wow. All right, hold on. I'm having a little issue. It keeps saying breaking news. I don't want it to keep saying breaking news. Give me a moment here. Let me fix this. I don't want it to keep saying breaking news every time I switch something. Let me just fix this. Okay, I think we're good. All right. So I'm going to check with our viewers and see what's going on with you guys. What is going on with you guys? Are you getting messages? Yes. By the way, Bloomberg reporter Alexandra Levine says the same thing. People are getting it now. Are any of you getting these messages? One of the people said breaking news. Are any of you getting the messages? Bing Da Boop says, I can't access it right now. No Name says, mine just kicked me off. Brian Lewis says, I got it. Oh my gosh, they did it before midnight. Breaking news. Breaking TikTok. They have shut it down. Wow. Unbelievable. Amazing. Amazing. Around 10:30. Around 10:30. One of our viewers said it's shut down in California. I'm messaging one of my friends in California to see if it works for him. Hang on a moment. I'm getting a live report from my friend in California, if he sees my message. Shutdown in Ohio. I'm in California and it's not working anymore. Down in Missouri, I'm in California, not working. Not working in Northern California. It is now, I believe it might be officially shut down in all of the U.S. I believe it might be in all the... I'm in California and not working. Yeah, everything I'm seeing suggests that that it's shut down in the U.S. But I don't know if it's down for everyone. Wow, breaking news, unbelievable! Now it could come back in a day or two. Well, it's going to be at least a couple days because the inauguration is until Monday. Trump won't even be in office till Monday. Wow. Still up in Canada, down in Florida, down in Hawaii. I'm reading our viewers. I'm in Malaysia and it works fine. Well, the ban doesn't apply to you in Malaysia. Shutdown in West Virginia. Unbelievable. Colorado down. I'm gonna go with the app. I feel comfortable saying TikTok shuts down app in the United States. Ahead of ban. Wow. This is about an hour and a half or an hour and 20 minutes before the ban kicks in. But it is now shut down. Unbelievable. Now, our viewer Texit Raider claims that VPNs do not work. One of our viewers tried to use a VPN. I can't speak for all viewers who've tried it. Thank you, Patrick Davis, who says, help us, Trumpy, Juan Kenobi, you're our only hope. Thank you, EKP, who says it's midnight in Puerto Rico. It's not even midnight in Puerto Rico yet, though. Midnight in Puerto Rico is in 22 minutes. Thank you, Evil Bunny, who says, dang, it still works in Canada. Please us too. I guess Evil Bunny doesn't like it. Thank you, Carol's Dark Sarcasm, says, kicked out in Washington State. Thank you, Carlson, who says, suddenly TikTok got a lot better for our Europeans. Thank you, Veritas Justice, who says, compare TikTok and Pokemon Go CIA ownership. TikTok is pretty much Chinese version of a similar apparatus like Pokemon Go. It's a pretty interesting story. That's what Veritas Justice says. Thank you, Bebop and Rocksteady. I don't have a VPN, so I can't try it. Maybe some of you will. John DFW says, with having a teenage daughter, this is the best news I've heard in a while. Thank you, John. Thank you, Evil Black, who said, who told the head of the executive branch that he can just decide to not to enforce a law passed by Congress? Well, Biden said because of timing, since his administration will only be around for one day on Sunday, technically when the ban is in effect, he said we're going to leave it to the Trump administration. We don't know what the Trump administration is going to do exactly. Trump has suggested he might take action to try to save it, but we don't. I mean, we'll have to see what happens. Also, Trump might try to do something. Maybe Trump issues an executive order and it goes to court whether he can do that or not, because the ban is a law passed by Congress and signed by the president. So there are different things that Trump might try to do, but he might try to do something that saves it that is ruled illegal. Because again, it is the law that it's banned. But we'll talk about some of this. It gets kind of complex. So it's not exactly clear. And then part of the law is the president can give a 90-day extension, but certain conditions need to be met for the president to give such an extension. It's not clear that those conditions are actually met. Now, maybe Trump could try to give the extension, but maybe someone could take it to court and say, no, those conditions, he can't give the extension because the conditions haven't been met. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. But I mean, nothing's going to happen until Trump's president anyway. Let's see. Thank you, Snowboy, by the way. All right, let me get you some more updates on this. But again, TikTok has shut down the app, apparently, in the U.S. Ahead of the ban taking effect. I mean, this message means it's shut down in the U.S. Look at this is the message I got, but it literally means it's banned. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. Well, there you go. There you go. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It really happened. Burris Dillon says, please put it back. I'm dying without it. Wow. Janet Logston says, mine says the same. Cheryl Smith says, quit saying your VPN is working if it's when it's not. I cannot say if people, Saranya claims a VPN works. So I don't know. I'm not trying it with a VPN. You guys can try with your VPNs. A number of our viewers are claiming that VPN does not work. I can't see. I can't see what's going on with people. But anyways, wow, it really happened. It really did happen. So will it come back Monday or later when Trump is president? I don't know. Louis R. says VPN not working for me. I think Louis R. is pretty trustworthy. Oh, now Gritty Production says it's still in the Google Play Store. I'm going to go to the App Store on Apple and I'm going to look for TikTok. Now, the ban hasn't officially started yet. So I just went to the App Store and I'm not seeing it in the Apple App Store. Am I crazy? Can anyone check their App Store? I just checked my phone and I'm not seeing TikTok in the Apple App Store. Lucky Minute says not in the App Store. It's gone from the App Store. Right. TikTok app appears to be gone from the Apple App Store. Some people are saying it's still on the Android Play Store. I wonder if I can look it up. Can I get the Android apps on Google Play? Can I look up TikTok? TikTok is still there on the Play Store. It's still there. I'll show you. I think that's going to probably change. I got to copy this photo. Where's the copy thing? No, not save image as. Where's copy? I need copy. Copy. There we go. Okay, so again, TikTok has been shut down in the US a little ahead of the ban. It is not on the Apple Store that I can tell. My guess is that it'll stop soon being on the Play Store. By the way, I just want to mention something else that I just saw. This is not the same story, but just a heads up. Other news, National Weather Service Los Angeles says extreme fire weather and wind forecasted in Southern California Monday and Tuesday. High-end red flag warnings in Los Angeles and Ventura counties Monday and Tuesday, damaging Santa Ana winds and extreme fire weather. So I'm just putting that out there. We're not focusing on that right now, but I just saw that right now. Oopsie. We are bringing you live breaking news coverage as TikTok has been shut down in the United States ahead of the ban taking effect. Wow. Me and others are getting this message. Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the US. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. Wow. Bebop and Rocksteady says, used my VPN set to Canada, never downloaded it before, it's not there. Means they are using other means to see where you're located, perhaps Apple ID, etc. So Bebop and Rocksteady claims a VPN did not work. Jackie Morgan, I saw that, but I don't have I don't believe I have an Android device. I don't have an Android phone. So I think that message was, I think the point is that it just won't even be in the apps. I'm expecting it to not even be in the Play Store. I believe they're not going to list it in the Play Store. Maybe they're waiting till midnight or something. Thank you, Jackie Morgan. Also, Matthew Bradford. Matthew says it still works on my BlackBerry from Guam. That's what Matthew says. Thank you, Akeem Idler. Akeem Idler says if the accounts of U.S. TikTok users are stored on Oracle databases and Oracle shuts down the servers, a VPN can't help. Oh, that's interesting. So remember, Oracle is the main cloud computing provider for TikTok. I believe they store user data for TikTok. And Oracle, according to the information, this is a Reuters article, according to the information, Oracle had told its staff to prepare to shut down servers hosting TikTok data from the US starting at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So maybe that's why the app shut down before midnight. Again, we have this reporting that said Oracle was going to start shutting down their US TikTok servers at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Interesting point by Akeem. Thank you, Shannon Atkinson, who says streaming TikTok stars on my page. What is TikTok stars? I don't even know what that is. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Darren175, Clay Turner, Walter Beasley. Walter says can't use with VPN. Evil Bunny, thank you. I got to check. A lot of people are sending me messages. Hold on, let me just say a couple more thanks here. Horse Whisperer, thank you. Chris Wright, thank you. Patrick Davis, Carol's Dark Sarcasm. Hang on, I got to read some of more of your messages here. I get a lot of messages here. Give me a moment. I want to check for updates. So just give me a moment. I'm sorry, I'm getting so many messages. Has TikTok officially posted on social media about this? Well, they've posted on TikTok about it. I'm showing you that right now. They haven't posted on their X account. Walter says, bruh, I need my TikTok. Yeah, a lot of our viewers in the chat, you can see, they just say it's not working for them. One of our viewers claims it's still working in El Paso, Texas. I don't know if that's true. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Give me a moment. Ruski Vodka says banned in Colorado. Oh, Christian Jensen says some of the American TikTok users are still streaming live. So maybe that's what the other viewer was talking about. I think what Christian is saying is maybe if you're in another country, you can watch an American TikTok user who is doing a live stream. Murph says someone in Iowa is live streaming on TikTok. I mean, I can't tell because I can't even watch it. I can't get in my app. Riot Baton says any app related to ByteDance is no longer working, such as CapCut and Lemonade, along with TikTok. Yeah, so CapCut was said they were getting shut down too, and they're owned by ByteDance. I don't have CapCut, so I haven't checked, but I would not be surprised if they stopped working already as well. Lemon 8. Yeah, CapCut had said they're shutting down. Yes, CapCut is down. BNO News posted about that. CapCut, a popular video editing app, is also down. ByteDance believes that the law banning TikTok also applies to CapCut. So they have this message up. They have basically it's a similar message. You can see BNO News posted this, but CapCut app is giving people a similar message than TikTok is giving. A law banning CapCut has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use CapCut for now. Rest assured, we're working to restore our service in the U.S. Please stay tuned. In the meantime, you can still manage your account data. If you need support, contact this email address. So CapCut, the video editing software, is not working either, is shut down. And people mentioned Lemon 8 as well. Lemon 8? Is it Lemonade or Lemonade? Lemon 8, I don't even know what it is. A lifestyle content community featuring photos and videos. Never heard of it. I guess some of our viewers use it, but they are saying that Lemonade is shut down. Let me see here. Yes, Lemonade has officially shut down in the U.S. I'm seeing this from Popbase, and others on social media are posting the messages that Lemon 8, you also get that they are not available like down as well. So everything I'm seeing, I don't have Lemon 8 myself, but I'm seeing a number of people reporting on social media that Lemon 8 is also not working. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Scrappy said Lemon 8 doesn't work. And again, a number of our viewers are claiming that VPNs are not working for them. Let me do a little search here and see if I can find anything about that. But once in a while, I hear about somebody saying a VPN is working. So I can't speak to that. Marcus Jackie says VPN not working. This is huge. It's a very popular app. It's big business too. Big business, TikTok. But I believe the number I've seen in articles is 170 million US users. And many people make a living on TikTok. All kinds of major companies advertise on TikTok, and many people use it. I wonder if I can find you user statistics for the US. Let's see here. Like how often a day? Pew Research Center had an article recently where they said, Pew Research Center said a third of US adults use TikTok. That's according to Pew Research Center. A third of adults. Let's see here. And a majority of teenagers use TikTok, according to Pew Research. So a third of adults and a majority of teenagers. That is from Pew Research. Or used. I guess you can say used at this point because it's not working right now. Wow. Lewis R., thank you. Lewis says, after further investigation, VPN works if I activate the VPN, clear my cookies, and access TikTok without logging into my US-based account. So, again, I don't have a VPN. Lewis R. is saying that he made it work with a VPN. I leave it to you to VPN yourselves and test it out as you will. I'm hearing some people saying it's not working with a VPN. Sometimes people say it does work. Picon says VPN doesn't work for me. It might be due to using Google to log in. I don't know. Thank you also, Deshark. Deshark says if you check Down Detector website, you see some VPNs have problems. I guess folks trying it for TikTok. Yeah, you can go to downdetector.com. Yes, more and more people are reporting TikTok outages on Down Detector, and you could read the comments, I guess, for people. People are posting comments on Down Detector there. Is that what you're talking about? The comments? I'll try to get you some more updating from like tech reports and stuff and news reports. This just happened while we were on the air, just about 20 minutes ago or so. Iroquois, thank you. Iroquois says there's no evidence this is the U.S. government enforcing the law. This is TikTok shutting down early and playing politics. That's what Iroquois thinks. So, look, again, it's a complex situation here. The Biden administration is not enforcing this law. That's true. But there are companies that work with TikTok that are essential for TikTok to use, for ByteDance to use, to get TikTok to consumers, like Oracle, which provides cloud computing services to TikTok. These companies put themselves at risk if they help TikTok stay live after the ban is in effect. Even if the ban is not being enforced, they could face huge fines because the government could say, we're not enforcing it. And then the government could just change its mind in a month and start enforcing it. And then these companies have broken the law. I've read a bunch of articles where experts say, yeah, these companies are taking a risk if they help TikTok, stay live when this ban is in effect. So now, So for example, we showed you, it was reported by The Information that Oracle had told workers to start shutting down their US TikTok servers at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's what this article says. It says, leaders at Oracle, the main cloud computing provider for TikTok's US operations, have told some staff to prepare to shut down servers that host US TikTok data as soon as 9 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, in advance of a US law banning the app from Sunday, The Information reported. So maybe it stopped working early because Oracle, stopped their servers working, shut down their servers. That would work for TikTok. I don't know. I don't know how voluntary this is. TikTok was saying that ByteDance was saying they were going to shut down. And you might say, oh, they're choosing to shut down. But we don't, this makes it look like Oracle, themselves was not willing to try to help TikTok technically evade a ban, even if it was not being enforced. I don't know. Maybe ByteDance told Oracle to do this. I don't. Oracle's their own company, so I don't know what's happening. It's a good question as to how much of this is voluntary and not voluntary. But the fact of a ban itself puts companies that work with TikTok at risk, even if initially the ban is not being enforced. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, let me try to get you some updates here. I did not think this was going to happen. I thought that it would, I just thought that the US government, it was going to be unpopular enough that even though this law was passed, I thought that enough politicians in the US government would not want to own it, would not want to own the unpopular shutdown, and it wouldn't happen. Now, it's possible that 2 days from now, Trump will find some way to save it. Or Trump and it can't just, I don't know that it can just be Trump. So maybe the US government will try to find some way to save it, but there's questions about all of that. So, we don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe it could happen, but not right away. So I have no idea where this is going. But what I do know is it's not working. It's not working. Incredible. Hang on a moment here. Look, guys, TikTok stops working for US users. Reuters is reporting it now. TikTok went dark in the US on Saturday before a federal ban on the Chinese-owned short video app took effect, cutting off access to the platform that captivated nearly half of all Americans, fueled small businesses, and shaped online culture. Wow. Matthew Felty says Oracle is a $50 billion a year public company. Smart move. Darth Plaga says still works for me. Wow, crazy. I'm really, it's really kind of crazy to see this happening. I haven't really processed it. I use TikTok regularly. Now you literally just can't use it. You can't use it. Can't use it. DG says, how often does Congress shut down entire companies? It's a good question. I'm trying to think of the last time something like this happened. Social media has only been around for so long. Has the U.S. ever shut down a prominent social media app like this? How about something like Napster? Didn't Napster have to get, I don't know if Napster got shut down or just stopped working. But remember when Napster came out and people were using it to steal music and it was really popular and then it kind of stopped working? I don't remember whether Napster got shut down or though. That was a while ago. Napster ceased operations in 2001 after losing multiple lawsuits and filed for bankruptcy in 2002. So according to Wikipedia, Napster ceased operations in 2001 after losing multiple lawsuits. I'm aging myself by talking about Napster. Pirate Bay? Wow. Wow. All right, let me read some more of your comments. It is just really something that this has actually happened. I kind of can't believe that it's happening. Unbelievable. It's interesting. It's like it's not even really being reported that much yet. I think a lot of people, myself included, were thinking it was going to happen at midnight. The New York Times is now saying TikTok starts going dark in the U.S., so they're catching up. Yeah, the Washington Post is reporting it too. Washington Post has a big headline: TikTok shuts down as U.S. ban takes effect. Yes. Now, the Washington Post says, under the law, App Store providers and like Google, like the Play Store, and Apple App Store, App Store providers and internet hosting services could face massive fines for updating TikTok's app or carrying its website once the deadline to divest passed on Sunday. Okay, so again, it seems like TikTok was saying that they were going to shut down the app, but for all we know, the companies that it works with, that it needs to work with to have this app work in the U.S., for all we know, those companies were not going to keep doing this, keep working with it while the ban was in effect, even if it wasn't being enforced. Now, the Washington Post also reported that TikTok executives had discussed immediately taking their app offline on Sunday to highlight the impact of the restriction, but the plans had not been finalized. Google, Apple, and other business partners remained mum on their plans as TikTok's legal battle unfolded. So now, did TikTok, I don't know, did TikTok arrange it so that it would shut down even before the midnight deadline to make it even more shocking when it happened? I have no idea. Jack, the MQ2 Reaper, says, farewell TikTok. I miss you already. Mo Bigley says, I can't go on without my TikTok. One of our viewers said, bye TikTok, don't ever come back. Just Music says, working on VPN but slow because everyone jumping on VPNs to use it. Sergio GT408 says, I am able to use TikTok with a certain VPN app. Oh, is it not on the Google Play Store anymore? Hold on a second. One of our viewers said it wasn't on the Google Play Store anymore. Breaking news. Breaking news. TikTok has disappeared from the Google Play Store. Breaking news. I just checked it. I searched it. Look, TikTok, apps on Google Play. Hold on, look. Apps on Google Play. Click. Nothing. Wow. TikTok has disappeared from the Google Play Store. Wow. There you go. It's not on the app. It's gone from the Apple App Store. It's gone from the Google Play Store. Yeah, it was already, we already had seen that it was gone from the App Store. Apple Store gone. TikTok, Google Play Store gone. Unbelievable. This is incredible. I did not think that it would get to this. So I was wrong. I was wrong. All right, looking for updates here. Just incredible. Look at this. TikTok goes dark in the U.S., guys. From AP. TikTok goes dark in the US. TikTok's app was removed from prominent app stores on Saturday evening just before a federal law that bans TikTok went into effect. By 10:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the app was not found on Apple and Google's app stores, which are prohibited now from offering the platform under a law that required TikTok's China-based parent company ByteDance to sell the platform or face a US ban. When users opened the TikTok app on Saturday evening, they encountered a pop-up message from the company that prevented them from scrolling on videos, and I've been showing you that message. Now, there must be people, I don't know where it is, I assume maybe that popular TikTok streamers or TikTok personalities maybe are streaming on Instagram Live or something like that, and are on YouTube and talking about this. Now, it's also really interesting because we have viewers in other countries who are just using TikTok. 6P says all good in Australia. App still available in both stores. Let's see here. This is unreal. Abracadabra says there's a hole in the internet where TikTok used to be. Our viewer, one of our viewers, where did it get? Spud and Me says, at 62 years old, I found TikTok to have a lot of great content. Dina Mason says, odd, perfect timing before Trump inauguration. Beaches Regret K, our great K, says it's not long gone for long, I bet. I'm going to do a poll. My poll is, will TikTok be back this coming week in the US? Okay, will TikTok be back this coming week in the US? I want to see what our viewers think. So I just posted the poll on YouTube. I'm going to post it on Twitch right now. I'm going to see what you guys think about this. I have no idea. I just don't know. Now remember, the CEO of TikTok is going to Trump's rally tomorrow, later today, I guess. No, it's still tomorrow, actually. It's Saturday here. His Sunday rally, and is going to be with Trump at the inauguration. We're going to carry that rally. I wonder if Trump is going to talk about TikTok at the rally. We will have coverage of that rally, live coverage on Agenda Free TV. Let's see. All right, so I posted the poll. Oh, I got to post it over on Facebook too. Sorry, let me post it on Facebook real quick. It's a giant pain posting it on Facebook, but I'll do it anyway, and then I'm going to show you what you guys said in this viewer poll. All right, viewer poll. Will TikTok be back this coming week? Yes or no? All right, I am posting it on Facebook right now. I wish I could post it all at once on all the platforms. It doesn't work that way, though, so I can't. Okay, I have it now posted on on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. All right, here is what our YouTube viewers say. Our YouTube viewers say, in response to the question, will it be back this coming week? Our YouTube viewers say 56% say yes, 44% say no. Hold on, you can't see it. Oops. Over on Facebook, 57% say yes, 43% say no. And on Twitch, what is the result on Twitch? Thanks for voting in the poll, by the way. 59% on Twitch say yes, 42% say no. Wow. Hey, by the way, a quick thanks to all of our moderators. I really appreciate you being there in our chat. We have Ruth Krafasi on YouTube is moderating. Have a Sue Mom. Unbelievable. Linda Belk and Larry on X, thanks for moderating. Over on Twitch, Oh, give me 1 second. I'll tell you what's happening over on Twitch. Hearsay, Mark and NC, Mark H and NC, Mark HNC, McBritches, Surly Dev and Tariag all moderating over there. And on Facebook, oops, I messed something up. We'll get the Facebook moderators in a second. So thanks for voting in our poll. Again, we got 57% say yes to We'll Be Back this coming week on YouTube, and 55% say yes on Twitch. Oopsie, I messed that up. And on Facebook, it is 55% on Facebook. Pretty tight across all of our platforms. Thanks also to our Facebook moderators as well. Who do we have over there? Yeah, Michael Lodge says, post the poll on TikTok. Shelly Adkins says, it went out in West Virginia 20 minutes ago, started glitching, then went dark. Thanks, Kay Lowry Body, for moderating on Facebook. Really appreciate it. I think Margaret Riley was over there. Thank you. Thanks, Pam Kennedy, for subscribing over there. All right. Thanks for voting in our poll. We're going to wrap up the poll right now. Let me just end the poll and proceed with the broadcast and try to get you more updates on this crazy breaking news. TikTok goes dark in the U.S. Wow. It really happened. It really happened. Really. I just saw something reported from about an hour ago by Alex Heath with Verge. So it's Alex Heath with Verge reported that TikTok shared a message with employees that said, we know this is disappointing for you. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated he will work with us on a solution once he takes office. Our teams are working tirelessly to bring our app back to the U.S. as soon as possible. So they seem, at least on the surface, ByteDance, confident that Trump will figure out a solution with them. NetBlocks reports, analysis of App Store data shows the TikTok app has now been delisted in the U.S., with the country joining a small set of countries including Afghanistan, China, and India, where it is unavailable for download. Now, China has a different app owned by ByteDance called Douyin, I think it is. Mobile App Store restrictions. It says TikTok. Afghanistan, China, Hong Kong, which is China, India, Myanmar, and the United States. There you go. Look at this. This is from NetBlocks. So I think they're saying these are the countries that the Apple App Store doesn't carry TikTok in. Afghanistan, China, Hong Kong, India, Myanmar, United States. Now, maybe in other countries there are other restrictions on it, so maybe it's not available in other countries because the country just, not because of the App Store or something. You know, I'm not saying, maybe there's other countries where it's not available, but I just want to point out that they say it has been delisted from the App Store. Is it available like in Russia? I don't know. Google AI says it's technically available there, but it has significantly restricted its functionality there. Wikipedia has an article about censorship of TikTok. Senegal blocked it. Many countries have imposed past or ongoing restrictions on TikTok. Somalia announced a ban on it, but it has not been enforced. Afghanistan, Armenia. If you want to read this, what does it say about Russia, just to see? This is an article on Wikipedia. On March 2022, Russia criminalized spreading misinformation against its invasion of Ukraine. TikTok then banned any new uploads and only allowed old videos that were uploaded within Russia. TikTok has weathered Russian intelligence crackdown by controlling and cutting off Russian users from the outside world while also allowing national propaganda. So it looks like it's restricted functionality in Russia. Anyways, you can read this article for more background. Censorship of TikTok. Oh, where's the United States? United States. As of the 18th of January 2025 at 23:00 Eastern Time, TikTok is blocked on all devices in the United States. There you go. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let me take some more comments from you guys. Incredible. Hey, thanks for your support on Twitch, Mr. 26 Part 2. Mort says, Wikipedia staying up to date. Hold on a moment here. Austin Ayers, I'm not going to show this. Austin Ayers posted something claiming he knows how to make it work using a VPN. Thanks, Austin Ayers, for messaging in. Yeah, as we've told you, Lemon 8 and CapCut, which are other apps owned by ByteDance, have also been shut down. Here, for example, BNO posted about Lemonade. Lemonade, another popular app with links to ByteDance, is also shut down in the US. How are you guys feeling about this? I mean, those of you who use TikTok. I use TikTok. By the way, thank you to Hello Voltage, who says, shout out to Bebop and TikTok Steady. Thank you, Melody Aceves. Thank you, Crazy Yoda, who says, imagine if this happened to YouTube and the effect on people's livelihoods. That's TikTok influencers tonight crazy. Yeah, I was saying last night on our stream talking about this last night. Something I was saying was, so I understand not everybody uses TikTok, certainly about half the country uses it in the US. But what I was saying is, if you don't use it, just imagine some platform you did use stopped working. You know, some major platform. That's what it's like. It's crazy. Ashley Marie says, I feel sad. I felt connection finally on TikTok. Jules B says, very upset. Trav from the Lou says, LOL, it's a stupid app. Chris V says, don't care for it myself, feel bad for my niece. I mean, very popular among younger people. Totally Scuffed says, I will miss it, but it had a negative impact on my brain. And a lot of creators and also businesses, there are people who did business through TikTok and used it for their business. Thank you, Janet B, for the gift membership. Thank you, Patrick Davis, who says, I'll miss the fragrance side of TikTok if it doesn't return. Were there fragrance videos? I mean, there's videos about a lot of things. I got really into, I don't wear watches. I don't really know anything about watches. I got really into watching these watch videos. Thank you to Toyer Delbach Oberga, AC, who says TikTok is running fine in Ireland. Thank you, Giddy Production, who says on my phone, TikTok is still in Google Play Store. Still? Like right now? I don't know if it's still there. Thank you, Hannah Harkonnen, who says gone from the App Store as well. Blue Chainsaw Man. Good to see you, Blue Chainsaw Man, who says Vine shut down on its own previously. Yeah, Vine was not shut down. Vine just chose to shut down, right? Vine, yeah, so Twitter shut down Vine. You can read about Vine on Wikipedia. Vine was a short-form video hosting service where users could share up to 6-second-long looping video clips. It was bought by Twitter, and then by December 2015, Vine had over 200 million active users. Seems like a longer time ago. And Twitter shut it down in 2017 and discontinued it. Hang on a moment. Let me try to get you some more updates here, some more breaking news updates. The New York Times says, until tonight, no one, including the U.S. government, was entirely sure what would happen to TikTok when the law took effect. The United States has never blocked an app used by tens of millions of Americans essentially overnight. Wow. Again, the New York Times says the United States has never blocked an app used by tens of millions of Americans essentially overnight. And, you know, I've said this before, but just to say this again, companies, TikTok needs other companies to work with it to stay live. And other companies would be putting themselves at risk if they cooperated, if they kept working with TikTok to keep TikTok going, even if once this ban started, even if the ban weren't being enforced. So, for example, the New York Times points out that the law has a provision to penalize app store operators like Apple and Google and internet hosting companies like Oracle for distributing or maintaining the TikTok app. I should actually, let me actually show you. I bet we can find that in the law. The law is called, hold on a second here. I had this last night. I was showing it to you last night. Where is it here? The Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. Here it is right here. Congress.gov, the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. Now, can I find the part about the shown here, passed House, text? Here's the text of it. Can I find the part where it talks about $5,000? Yes. Enforcement, civil penalties. An entity that violates subsection A or subsection B shall be subject to pay a penalty not to exceed the amount that results from multiplying $5,000 by the number of users within the land or maritime borders of the U.S. determined to have accessed, maintained, or updated a foreign adversary-controlled application as a result of the violation. And A and B talks about, where the subsection A or B? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, so it is illegal to provide services to distribute, maintain, or update such foreign adversary controlled applications by means of a marketplace like an app store, or providing internet hosting services to enable the distribution, maintaining, or updating of such foreign adversary controlled application for users within the land or maritime borders of the United States. So this is saying it's illegal to, it's illegal to, once TikTok is banned, you can't provide services to it. You can't provide internet hosting services to it. You can't have it on your app store. What happens to you if you break this law? Well, here's what could happen to you. This is what I was just showing you about the $5,000 here. An entity that violates subsection A shall be subject to pay a penalty basically of not more than $5,000 times the number of users who were able to use it, basically, or update their app because you helped it out. So if Google or Oracle, or as I read, now this one is $500 down here, but as I read this here, subsection A is the one up here. Yes, so that applies to internet hosting services or to app stores. So if Google keeps it on its app store or Apple keeps it on its app store, then they could have to pay a fine of $5,000 times the number of users that download it or update the app through the app store. Let's say now over 100 million users use the app in the US. So 100 million times 5,000 would be, let's see, 100 million times 5,000. 1,000 times 100 billion is 100 billion. Wouldn't it be 500 billion? Isn't 100 million times 5,000 500 billion? Yes, 100 million times 1,000 is 100 billion. So we're talking about $500 billion. If Oracle, and maybe like maybe $1 trillion. But these are the kind of fines we're talking about here. If Oracle or Google or Apple were to keep working with TikTok to keep it going after the ban takes effect, they could face fines of hundreds of billions of dollars. In theory, that doesn't mean they will, but they could. So for all you know, the lawyers at Google or Apple or Oracle are just like, I don't care if this thing is not being enforced right now. The government could change their mind. We need to not help them out right now. So anyways. But that's just, something that the law says. And the law is done to protect the national security of the United States from the threat posed by foreign adversary-controlled applications such as TikTok and any successor application or service and any other application or service developed or provided by ByteDance or an entity under the control of ByteDance. ByteDance also owns CapCut and Lemonade, which is why those have been shut down too. So there's the law right there. Whew, guys, it's been shut down. It's gone dark. TikTok goes dark in the US. Smoke Pall Mall says still up in Canada. Aldi B says they really did it. They really took TikTok from us. Stakulator says, oh my God, it's not on the App Store. Bet a lot of people are just discovering this right now. My friend from California confirmed that he could not get it on in California. So now in California, it stopped working around 7:30 Pacific time, right? Because it was around 10:30 Eastern time. So people in California, they might have thought they were going to get, at least 4.5 more hours of usage tonight. But it stopped. Wow. Popeye says censorship at its finest. Adrian R. says the fine would be $850 billion if 170 million people updated the app from the App Store. Thank you, Kieran. Kieran says, I trust China more than Zuckerberg. Thank you, Karma Slosin, our new member. Thank you, Julian Arizabal, who says, what about videos that were out on Facebook from TikTok? So I assume if you posted a TikTok video on another platform, the law doesn't talk about that. The law doesn't talk about content which has been exported. It just talks about the app itself. Thank you, Adrian R., for the gift membership. So nice of you. Thank you, Natalie Perkowski, who says, sometimes you need to shut your brain down. TikTok helped. I agree with you there, personally. Don't need to use it every day, but it has its uses. I really enjoyed it. I would use it a little bit each day, maybe late at night, before bed or something. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff on there. And not just stuff for kids, stuff for adults too. There's all kinds of topics. Stuff about food, about music. Also really like interesting people with interesting views I would never have found otherwise. About news, about sports, all kinds of stuff on there. Steve McFall says, I learned so much. Erica Morningstar, thank you. Melody Aceves, thank you. Hello Voltage, thank you. Andrew Schlegel, thank you. Andrew says, now that Elon is in the government, well, unofficially, how will he respond when other countries start banning X? Would be interesting if that happens. I mean, if a country, that's an interesting question. If a country had a dispute with X, like I remember Brazil had last year, I think it was, how might his being close to Trump impact that dispute? It's a fair question. Steve Sanderosa says Trump is going to bring it back. We should talk a little bit. I'm sure there are people out there wondering, like, so what are the chances of it coming back? So we should talk a little bit about that. Sarah Whittick-Smith says, in what way was it a risk? The two risks that were seen about TikTok that led to this law being passed were, one, that, so it's owned by a Chinese company. The Chinese company has ties to the Chinese government. So one risk was that the Chinese government could get from the Chinese company personal data of Americans that could present a security risk if the Chinese government had personal data. Now, I'm not, you might wonder, it's an interesting question of what do you mean? How would it be a security risk? Well, maybe there's personal data about you that you don't want to get out there. And TikTok finds out that stuff about you, and the Chinese government finds out about you, and they use it to try to blackmail you, right? I have no idea if this is a scenario that was brought up, by Congress. But as an example, let's say there's something about you don't want made public, and the Chinese government finds out about it, and you happen to you have a security clearance, and somebody from the Chinese government sends somebody to talk to you, or they send you a message, and they say, hey, you know this thing you don't want anybody to know? Well, we know that. So if you don't do X, Y, and Z for us, we're just going to make this public on the internet. I mean, it would, you see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that would have happened with TikTok. I'm just saying that's an example of a case where an app finds out data for you and it could pose a security risk to the country. I'm just throwing out an example, just to be an example. So one risk seen was personal data being obtained by the Chinese government. Also, maybe location data, sensitive location data about where certain people are. That may be something that could pose some sort of security risk. I don't know. And then the other risk was that this app, many people, the way they use the app is they let the app basically show it things to watch. You scroll through on your For You page, the app shows you different videos it thinks you're going to like. And the idea would be that China could use this app to influence American opinion, basically as a propaganda tool. By the Chinese government could basically tell ByteDance, hey, start showing Americans more videos about this point of view, or stop showing videos that say this, but show them more videos that say this. You know, you never know. So those are the two main concerns that I've seen with the app that led to the law. Personal data of Americans could end up in the hands of the Chinese government, and the Chinese government could use this app to influence American opinion surreptitiously. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find you some stuff about the prospects going forward here. So AP in their article tonight said, in an interview with NBC News on Saturday, President-elect Trump said he was thinking about giving TikTok a 90-day extension that would allow them to continue operating for 90 days. Now, for him to give this 90-day extension, certain conditions have to be met, and I don't know that they've been met. Let me show you, let me actually can go back to the law and see if I can find that in the law itself. Hold on a second here. Hang on. I'm sure it's in here, but I don't see... The law says, it says like if there's substantial progress toward a sale, that the president can give it a 90-day extension. But I'm trying to find that in the actual, I'm not seeing it in the text that I have. Hold on, do I have all the text here? Text 4, reported in-house, engrossed in-house. No, I have referred in Senate. Anyways, I can't find it in here. Oh, hold on. All right, let me just show you this. Anyways, in an interview with NBC News today, President-elect Trump said he was thinking about giving TikTok a 90-day extension that would allow them to continue operating. The federal law allows the sitting president to extend the deadline by 90 days if a sale is in progress. But no clear buyers have emerged, and ByteDance has previously said it won't sell TikTok. So now there is specific language in this law that says these conditions must be met if a 90-day extension is to be given. But I've also seen some commentary saying that maybe Trump could just, there's a way he could say the conditions had been met, even if not much had been achieved in terms of getting towards a sale. And he could say, oh, you know, a sale is closer, or substantial progress has been made, so we can do this extension. Now, I don't know if he tried doing that and the conditions really weren't met. Could it end up in court, whether the conditions were met or not? I don't know. Also, you know, Congress passed this law. It might complicate his relations with Congress if he basically tries to go around a law that they passed and find some workaround to not enforce it. I don't know about that. But so I'm not clear on what, if he tries to give a 90-day extension, what are the chances of that being successful or not successful? I don't know. If such an extension happens, Trump said it would probably be announced on Monday. Okay. Now, if he announces the extension, let's say Trump comes out on Monday and says, I hereby announce a 90-day extension, but there's some question about the legality of his announcement. Maybe there's a question of whether these conditions in the law that were supposed to be met really are met. Would that be good enough for TikTok? Would that be good enough for the companies that work with TikTok, like Oracle and Apple or Google? Or might those companies say, you know, he's saying he's giving it a 90-day extension, but maybe in a week from now, there'll be a court ruling saying that he can't do that. So we're going to hold off until the court ruling. I have no idea. So I don't know If he were to make such an announcement on Monday, would TikTok come right back on or not? Beats me. No idea. No idea. On Saturday, artificial intelligence startup Perplexity AI submitted a proposal to ByteDance to create a new entity that merges Perplexity with TikTok US business. According to a person familiar with the matter, if successful, the new structure would also include other investors and allow ByteDance's existing shareholders to retain their stake in the company, the person said. Perplexity is not asking to purchase the ByteDance algorithm that feeds TikTok's user videos based on their interests and has made the platform such a phenomenon. Other investors have also been eyeing TikTok. Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary recently said a consortium of investors that he and billionaire Frank McCourt put together offered ByteDance $20 billion in cash. Trump's Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin, said last year he was putting together an investor group to buy TikTok, but I have not heard that there's anybody close to buying it. And you can see AP says no clear buyers have emerged. Carol Estrada says, what are we going to do? A lot of you are getting this on your phone tonight. Unbelievable. Hang on, let me check something here. B&O News posted this. TikTok is now banned in Afghanistan, China, India, Iran, Jordan, Kyrgyzstan, North Korea, Somalia, Uzbekistan, and United States. Marco Fasano says it's working fine in Mexico. Roz Alerts claims that I don't know if this is true. Roz Alerts claims this. I don't know that this is true. Roz claims that some 911 call centers have reportedly been receiving non-emergency calls from teens and children expressing their love for TikTok following its shutdown. I don't know if that's true. I haven't heard that myself. That's what Roz posted. You know what else? Hold on. This is interesting. Roz Alerts mentioned this as well. Roz Alerts said that, I checked this too. Roz Alerts said that VPN searches for VPNs on Google had surged and exploded. See what Roz said? Google search results for VPNs in the US have surged and exploded following the shutdown and banning of TikTok and other apps. So I actually checked this, and he is right. Look, let me show you here. VPN, search term VPN, interest over time. Let's go to past 90 days. That's the past 90 days. Past 7 days. That's the search for VPN past 7 days. You can't even really see it. Past day. There's the past day. Good catch by Roz Alerts. Dr. McRib says VPN's never been more popular. Some of our viewers said it worked for them with the VPNs. A lot of our viewers said it didn't work for them with the VPN. Let's see here. Hang on a moment. Let me try to get you some more updates about this situation here. Hang on. Yeah, I want to try to give you some more updates about what is to come. What might we expect to come? Let me show you this. Let me show you this here. Check this out. So what might happen next? First of all, nothing's happening until at least Monday. Washington Post. TikTok probably will get a 90-day reprieve on ban, Trump says. Now, he says this. Is this true? I don't know. President-elect Trump said publicly today, Saturday, that he will probably give TikTok a 90-day reprieve from a U.S. ban set to take effect Sunday just before he takes office. I think that would be certainly an option we look at, he told NBC News. The 90-day extension is something that will most likely be done because it's appropriate. We have to look at it carefully. It's a very big situation. By the way, the 90 days requires that certain conditions have been met, and I don't know that those have been met. There has to be some significant progress towards a sale. Trump has said he will try to save TikTok from a federal law, blah, 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 blah. Trump is considering an executive order that could suspend enforcement of law for 60 to 90 days. But such a move would raise legal questions. Yeah, let me show you. The law allows the president to grant a 90-day extension of the ban deadline if there is evidence of significant progress toward a sale and binding legal agreements. Is there really evidence of significant progress toward a sale? I haven't heard of it yet. Might the Trump administration just try to claim there's significant evidence of a sale? I don't know. So he can't just say, you get a 90-day extension. The administration would have to meet these requirements in the law. One of our viewers said Elon will start TikToks. Mal XYZ says, is it even for sale? So the company, ByteDance, has resisted selling, and the Chinese government has said it opposes such a move. Could it be sold? I don't know. Is it really not for sale? Maybe. I mean, it's a good question. Maybe the Chinese government is just like, screw you. We're not going to sell it. We're not, I'm sure it doesn't play well in China, this idea that the U.S. could force China to sell this extraordinarily successful app to some American company, maybe, right? So I don't know how the Chinese government feels about it. I've also read that maybe China would try to use the whole TikTok thing as a bargaining chip in negotiations over tariffs. Trump has said he's going to put big tariffs on Chinese goods. So I have seen it raised, the possibility raised that maybe China would try to, trade selling TikTok for something else from Trump. If that's true, how long could that take? I don't know. Let's see here. There was something else. The Economist had something about this recently, too. Let me see if I can find what they had. Yeah, Economist had an article about a week ago. Let's see here. No, that's not what I wanted. Oh, yeah, here it is. No, about a day ago, they had an article about this. Let's see, what was I going to read from that? Right, so look, The Economist says that Trump could, in theory, issue a 90-day extension. But issuing a 90-day extension to TikTok would require evidence of significant progress toward a sale of the app, which, according to The Economist, does not seem to exist. Trump also could instruct his attorney general not to enforce the law, as past presidents have done regarding the federal ban on marijuana. But see, that's not, but tech firms would be nervous of flouting the rules. So this article was written 2 days ago. I think the option of Trump just saying we're not going to enforce the law doesn't work anymore. Why? Because the Biden administration already said they're not going to enforce the law on Sunday. But TikTok already said we're shutting it down. It looks like Oracle there was reporting that Oracle, which works with TikTok, which provides it cloud computing services, reporting that's from the information that said that Oracle had started to shut down its TikTok servers tonight. So the point is, you can see Oracle prepares to start shutting down TikTok services at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the information reports. The point is that companies that work with TikTok, that TikTok needs to work with it to get the app to users, they face major fines possibly for continuing to work with TikTok while it's banned, even if the ban is not being enforced. So given that TikTok has been shut down now, while I'm not aware that the ban is being enforced, I don't think it'll do any good if Trump says, oh, I'm just not going to enforce it, because it's already not being enforced right now by the Biden administration and it's shut down. So I don't think that's an option. So again, Trump did say today, I guess, that he said he will probably give a 90-day extension to TikTok. But as I said, I don't mean to be sounding like a broken record. I've given you multiple sources that say the 90-day extension requires there to be significant progress having been made toward a sale. There's no news that there is such progress. Could the Trump administration try to claim there's such progress anyway? And what would happen if they tried to claim there was such progress, even though there really wasn't such progress? That I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what will happen in that case. But from what I'm reading, it seems like that could happen. It seems like that would happen. Now, ID thinks Trump won't do that. I haven't checked my TikTok app in a while. It says not available now. I close it. I open it again. Same thing. Exact same thing. Let's see here. Now, one of our viewers mentioned that Trump was going to be conducting immigration raids, deportation raids in Chicago. Is he really going to be worried about TikTok? There's reporting out there that claims that that immigration raids will that deportation raids are going to start on Tuesday. I don't know how much of Trump's time it would require to try to get this 90-day extension to try to do it. I mean, maybe he just says to some staff, you're experts on this, write something up for me to sign, write up an order, and he signs it and they come out with it and see what happens. John thinks he can solve TikTok with a pen. It's just not clear. Kieran says Trump will unban it to be cool with the youth. I don't doubt that he might want to unban it. I don't know that he can unban it. It's not clear. Just like that. Or also, if it's a 90-day extension, even if he did do a 90-day extension, so would it just come? What's the best case scenario? He gives it a 90-day extension, and then it comes back for 90 days, and then what happens? And then it just gets banned for good if it doesn't get sold after 90 days. Don't know. Are people who live near the Canadian border? Are people who live near the Canadian border crossing the border into Canada to use TikTok? That's a question I have. Wow, this really did happen. It really happened. Can you believe it? Justice then says, I'd be willing to bet yes, people are crossing the border to use it. Doreen Weir says, Elon to the rescue, create another TikTok. Sama says it's unreal. It really is unbelievable. I have not processed it. I will process it after the stream when I kind of, normally like I maybe use it a little before, like I go to sleep. Right around that time, I'm going to go to use it and be like, I literally can't use this thing. It doesn't work anymore. Our viewer, Sassy Sasquatch, says 90-day extension just to get banned again. And another one of our viewers said the extension won't do anything if ByteDance can't sell it, basically. Our viewer, Penguin3, says, I never use TikTok. I hate short form content, but shame for those who used it. Krazik says, it's crazy to think about a massive social network getting banished. You know, another crazy thing about this is I live in the United States. I'm not aware that there was a general outcry for this in the United States. You know, it'd be one thing if like TikTok did something which made like everybody in the country really hate it and call up their congressmen or women and say, you have to ban this thing. I'm not aware that there was this groundswell of angry calls from the American public to ban TikTok, which is really interesting. You know, it'd be one thing if that happened. Joe R. says 90 days for them to line some political pockets and get the decision reversed. BDK from Australia says, hot take, YouTube shorts are better than TikTok. Thank you, BDK. Thank you, OPR357, who says, what if Facebook or X have already come up with their own platform similar to TikTok? Look, YouTube has YouTube shorts. Instagram has Instagram Reels. These are short form videos, and you can scroll through them kind of like TikTok, but I know a bunch of people just prefer TikTok. And they don't have it's not the exact same people, it's not the same exact feeling, and not the same algorithm. You know, TikTok, what really makes TikTok for a lot of people is that algorithm, that computer program basically that tells TikTok what to show you next. And give you new stuff that it thinks you'll like. Kodiak Jedi says, what makes TikTok so valuable is that algorithm. My Melanin says the algorithm could read your mind. But people also like, the platform is a certain way. There's a certain user interface. The chatting is a certain way, and things look a certain way, I gotta say, something I will also miss as someone who covers news, specifically breaking news. I have found that sometimes it is one of the platforms that people do live stream on. There was a live stream. We did a stream a few months ago when we covered a hurricane, and there was somebody live streaming on TikTok. And I actually ended up I got the person's permission and I showed some of their stream on my stream. But, especially among younger people, that's where they would go to live stream. And so I've seen a bunch of weather streams and other stuff. People stream all kinds of stuff. And not just live streaming. People also, after a news event, will post videos that they've taken, if something happened. And some people just use TikTok, so that's where they're going to post their video. And it has been a really good source for certain news stories of finding videos about it. And that's just gone. Fuchs says, shout out to Ray who covered the Florida floods. Thank you, Matthew Felty, who says, I recommend Wristwatch Revival channel. I don't know if that's a TikTok channel or not. Captain Jerry Donnelly, thank you, who says, middle school teachers and parents of teens will see grades go up. I don't know. I mean, it's obviously very popular among young people, but a lot of adults really like it too. Also, I mean, there were a lot of celebrities and politicians had started to use it and present like a different side of themselves. For example, one channel I would watch sometime is the drummer Stuart Copeland from The Police. I guess I'm aging myself again, but he used TikTok and he posts some really interesting videos there. You know, it just, some celebrities and politicians felt comfortable using TikTok in a way to just speak to camera in a way that they didn't on other platforms. Also, there's all kinds of very popular, you know, singers and stuff use it, and they post little messages and stuff on it as well. There's all kinds of celebrities use it, you know, younger ones. Just post somewhere else. I don't know if they'll feel comfortable doing it. Maybe they will. I don't know. Thank you, the Ravenous Drifter. Oh, thanks for the shout out on Roz Alert Spaces. Ravenous Drifter, thanks for mentioning that. Thank you also, Nick Van MZ, who says if you don't have the algorithm, it's not going to be the same app anymore. Look, I don't even know if I've tried Instagram Reels, but I've tried YouTube Shorts before, and it doesn't feel the same. I mean, maybe some people like YouTube Shorts better than TikTok. Go try YouTube Shorts as an alternative, but it doesn't feel the same. It clearly feels different on a different platform. So yeah, certainly TikTok, that algorithm made the experience special for a lot of people. I was reading an article last night that said that the TikTok would be worth, the purchase price would be significantly lower without the algorithm because the algorithm is so valuable. Thank you also, Phobiarg, who says the concerns with TikTok aren't because of the average user. It was used to build profiles in order to learn who could be coerced to harm the U.S. security. That's what Phobiarg thinks. Thank you. I mean, I think there was a concern with possibly the app being used to shape opinion in the U.S. among the general user base. I remember there was this debate, and I don't remember the specifics, but when the Israel-Gaza war, I think it was when it started, when the Israel-Hamas war started in Gaza, I remember there being this debate about, like, is the app favoring people with certain views? Am I seeing more views for one side than the other side on this app? Now, I don't know the specifics of all this and everything, but, you know, that's the type of thing. Look, I mean, you know, there's worries in the U.S. that China could try to invade Taiwan. If that got closer to happening, I think there might be governmental worries in the U.S. that maybe the app would start pushing videos that kind of support the Chinese side, maybe more, you know? I don't know. So, I know this was a concern, that general concern. I'm not telling you what to think about it. Thank you, SuckYouLed, for your support. Who said TikTok alternative Clapper is down due to traffic. I've never heard of it. Also, thanks to all of our moderators who are here. We have Ruth Kafasi, Beth Mythical, Janet B. It's incredible. It really has been shut down by the government. All of our YouTube moderators, thank you. Linda Belk and Larry on X. Over there on Twitch, Daily Disclosure Hearsay, I got that fired. Mark HNC, and Surly Dev. Also our Facebook moderators like Kay Lowry Body, and our other Facebook moderators, thank you. You know, I wonder, there was reporting suggesting, like Axios had reported, that a number of members of Congress who voted for this bill, because the bill passed with bipartisan support. There was a bunch of reporting out there, like for example, from Axios, that people from congressmen and women who had voted for this, a number of them were now kind of like reconsidering and actually didn't want this ban to take effect because they realized how unpopular it might be. So I don't know. It's possible that that if this ban came up for a vote again and it hadn't been voted on yet, it would not go the same way. I don't know if members of Congress realized or now think, oh, this is more unpopular than I thought it would be. Also, maybe members of Congress voted for the bill thinking, they'll just sell it. It's never going to get banned. It'll just get sold. So I don't know. Again, Axios had reported that, for example, that there was a lot of opposition now among people who had previously supported it. See if I can find that. I mean, Axios had reported a couple days ago, politicians were scrambling to save TikTok. They also said that they pointed out that Trump himself tried banning TikTok in the waning days of his first term. And they also point out that Ed Markey, who was an original ban supporter, co-sponsored a bill that would give it a reprieve. And they said Axios claimed that much of the opposition in Congress to TikTok appeared to be folding. But they passed the law, and there you go. Now we have the app shut down. Wow, it really did shut down. All right, hang on a moment here. Let us try to get you some more updates. Hey, thank you so much, Ariel Raufogel, Channel Ariel. I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Also, Van Dan, that's so generous of you as well. Van Dan, thank you. Van Dan says, I'll just miss the battles on the live streams. I had a few folks I supported, and I would just go in and annihilate people's entire teams by myself. LOL, something fun about that. Are you talking about like gaming, Van Dan? Because I know I saw people stream. There were gamers who streamed. There were a lot of musicians who live streamed. Another popular genre of live streaming was people who would go to like Disney World, or people who would walk around cruise ships and live stream, or people who would travel. That was actually kind of an interesting. I watched a number of those videos. People, you could always pretty much find somebody walking around some different country, live streaming it and showing you some country. I was watching somebody from Switzerland last night, actually, walking around. So those were interesting. Thank you so much, Van Dan. Thank you also. John Payne says, just use a VPN. Pick a server outside of the US to route your traffic through and you'll be able to connect. That's what John says. Now, I don't know if that works. Maybe it will. I do think a lot of people won't do that, either because they don't know how to use it, or they don't want to pay for it, or they just don't want to bother. You might say everybody can just use it. But I don't know if it would work for everybody, but just the nature of it is a lot of people will not do that. But that John suggests you use a VPN. Thank you, John. Thank you also, our viewer from Canada, who says, if you cross the border to use TikTok, you need a life. Fook says, I tried VPNs. It didn't work for me. Fraggle Rock says, people try to VPN. It doesn't work. Other of our viewers are saying it works. I have heard a bunch of people in our chat say it doesn't work, but a few have said it did work. So I can't speak to that myself. Laura Jane Thompson says it won't work as your TikTok account has your country in it. You would need to set up a new TikTok account. Josh says some VPNs might be blocked. All right, hang on. Let me see if I have any updates for you here. I really think it's incredible that this actually happened. I can't believe it actually happened. I really did not think this was going to happen. I mean, in the last day, I thought it would happen. You know what happened? The big thing for me was when TikTok posted last night that they were going to shut the app down unless the Biden administration said something else, because that was when things switched. Things switched when last night it no longer was about will they get shut down. It was, oh, they're going to shut it down themselves. That's when things switched, because it was looking like the U.S. government wasn't going to enforce it. And I don't know if people if people in Congress and in the Trump and Biden administrations, I don't know if they thought, well, we'll just not enforce it and then it'll just stay up. I don't know if they anticipated TikTok proactively shutting it down. But as I said, it also might be the case of companies that work with TikTok that they need to work with it, saying, well, we can't put ourselves at risk because technically speaking, while the ban is in effect, these companies could face enormous fines for assisting TikTok and keeping the service live. But this was really it last night. When I saw this changed everything. When they said in the statements issued today by both the Biden White House and the Department of Justice, this was when the Biden White House had said, we're not going to enforce this. But TikTok came out and said the statements issued today by the Biden White House and the Department of Justice have failed to provide the necessary clarity and assurance to the service providers that are integral to maintaining TikTok's availability to over 170 million Americans. Unless the Biden administration immediately provides a definitive statement to satisfy the most critical service providers assuring non-enforcement, unfortunately, TikTok will be forced to go dark on January 19th. I mean, this is when I saw this, I was like, oh, they're not even gonna, it doesn't even matter if it's being enforced, because the Biden administration already said they weren't gonna enforce it the next couple of days. I was like, well, that just seems it's at least gonna shut down for a day or two. Whether it shuts down past Monday, I don't know. I have no idea. I believe that the Biden White House today said this was a stunt. This comment here, where is it here? Where is the can I get you the statement by the White House that they put out today about this being about this comment last night being a stunt by TikTok? Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. I don't see it posted there. Where is it? Where is it? Anyways, I'll quote you the statement, though. According to The Hill, the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, earlier today said, "We have seen the most recent statement from TikTok. It is a stunt. And we see no reason for TikTok or other companies to take actions in the next few days before the Trump administration takes office on Monday." That's what the White House said today. But it wasn't up to them anymore. And as I said, I don't know to what degree this is all TikTok proactively doing this, shutting down to put pressure on the U.S. government, or is TikTok shutting down because the companies it works with to provide its service are just like, we're not taking the risk of working with you while this ban is in effect. It's an interesting question. But all I know is it's not available now. Hey, thank you to Brian Beelman. I really appreciate it, Brian. Thank you. Thank you also to Mammy Washington, who says, started a Facebook group in 2020 to write letters to politicians to get this done, sent thousands by educating parents on the negatives of TikTok victory. It sounds like Mammy Washington is happy about this. Emma Pascool from Australia, thank you. Emma thinks the app's features have nothing to do with it. It was for serious security issue and possible data breach concerns. Address that, please, folks. Thank you, Emma. Emma sounds like she thinks the concerns that inspired the law are legitimate. Thank you, Kieran. Kieran is not a supporter of VPNs. Kieran thinks popular VPNs are run by the feds. I can't speak to that. That's what our viewer Kieran said. E-Oddity thinks it's a self-inflicted publicity stunt. Eric Wong says people who rely on TikTok that make their livelihood on there are going to be bloody mad sad. You know, TikTok was banned in India 4 years ago. There was an article, where is it here, about what happened in other countries when it got banned. Let's see if I can find this for you right now. Hang on a moment. Where is it? I thought it was up there on Reuters. Now I can't find it. Give me one moment here. Was it on AP? Let's see. Oh, hey, I have an update for you guys. Look at this. Tennis star Coco Gauff wrote RIP TikTok USA on a TV camera at the Australian Open. It's Coco Gauff, I think it is. Tennis star Coco Gauff mourned the loss of TikTok's app back home, writing on a TV camera lens, RIP TikTok USA, and drawing a broken heart right after winning a match at the Australian Open to reach the quarterfinals. This victory came about an hour after TikTok could no longer be seen in the United States. Let me show you the picture. Hold on a second here. I'm going to show you the picture. I have it here. I'll show you the big version from AP. Breaking tennis-related TikTok news. Where is it here? Here it is. Here's the picture. There's Coco Gauff, and she wrote. Now she didn't. They do this. I believe at at different tennis tournaments they do this. So she didn't like damage the. She didn't damage the lens. I assume they put something over the lens so tennis players when they win can write on it. But she wrote RIP TikTok USA and a broken heart. One of our viewers said they had lens protectors. Ducati V4. Anyway, so that wasn't the story I was looking for, but I figured I'd show you that as well. The other thing about this that probably makes it really especially painful for creators is that it wasn't clear totally that this was going to happen until the very end. It's really bad for them. I feel terrible for people who, created on TikTok. I mean, I use it myself, so I feel bad for the people who use it as well, obviously. But hold on a moment here. Here, what happened when other countries banned TikTok? This is from the Washington Post. When India banned TikTok one evening in June 2020, the move was swift and permanent. Overnight, its 200 million users found they can no longer log in. Though the ban hurt creators across the country who had found an audience in a living making short videos, there was no popular protest, said this expert. People soon moved on to the alternatives that sprung up in its wake, notably Meta's Instagram Reels, which has largely taken TikTok's place in India's internet culture and digital economy. So will something take its place in the US? YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook, whatever they have. I don't know if they have something like this. No, Facebook owns Instagram, right? Or something else. India's experience could be instructive, but there are key differences between the circumstances surrounding India's ban and those in the U.S., experts say. And moves to ban TikTok in other countries and around the world have played out quite differently. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Let me just kind of skim through here. This was crazy, though. This story is crazy. How TikTok came to be banned in India is really a crazy story. On June 29th, 2020, 2 weeks after a deadly melee, a deadly clash between Chinese and Indian troops along the country's contested border, the administration of Indian Prime Minister Modi abruptly banned TikTok and 58 other Chinese-owned apps, citing data security concerns. Of those apps, TikTok was by far the most popular, a cultural sensation with 200 million users in India. But I believe it was a result of like this clash between Indian and Chinese troops. That's how it happened. That was my understanding. See if I can confirm that here. Yes, I mean, Wikipedia says that the ban was a response to the military clash between Indian and Chinese troops in disputed territory. Wow. Okay. Anyways. While Reels, Instagram Reels, is the closest replacement to TikTok, said someone who they talked to for this article. Shefali Bhatt, an independent tech and culture reporter in India. No app in India has managed to replicate TikTok's unique democratization of fame phenomenon that brought dreams of stardom to ordinary folks from the country's hinterlands. That's interesting. Anyways, I'm not going to read the whole thing. This is also interesting. Whether TikTok survives in the U.S. in some form, the fact that the U.S. has passed and upheld such a law is likely to open the gates to more such bans in other countries, said law professor David Kay. The U.S. has been a model to many other countries around the world as to how you think about free speech, Kay said. Now that its high court has blessed a law banning a disfavored social media app on national security grounds, my guess is that many states are going to follow in a way that makes many Americans uncomfortable. Wow, this has really happened. It has really happened. Can you believe it? Liz Krilla says, I'm so upset about TikTok being banned because all my edits are gone. Now, I don't know if people downloaded their data off TikTok or can you download your videos from there? Maybe if it comes back, they'll still be there. But we don't know for sure it's coming back. Print Wizard says, I'll sure miss all the vertical videos. Ashley Smearis says, they really be controlling us. Code Destroy thinks TikTok is the worst thing that's happened in this generation. One of our viewers, Richie Vegas, says many lawyers use it, showcases clients. I will say I've also seen... I watched some accounts on TikTok which were lawyers explaining like well-known cases in the media that you had heard about, and some of those videos were really interesting. Ill Kentucky says everyone will forget about it soon. Lynn Powell says if there was no way to save your work, that sucks. I don't know how if people did that. Sama says TikTok had a STEM feature about science. Let me see if I have any other updates here. I know people have been sending me some messages, so let me just check my messages too. X Cody says they also took down the Marvel Snap game. Now, I have to confess, I don't know what the Marvel Snap game is. Marvel Snap is a digital collectible card game. Marvel Snap. And yes, I did see that Zach Busey, who I follow, reported, he reports on internet stuff. He says that Marvel Snap has been banned in the USA. Was Marvel Snap run by? Was Marvel Snap run by ByteDance? Does anyone know? Oh. Zach B says Marvel Snap. Zach Busey says Marvel Snap is, what is it, run by Newverse, which is owned by ByteDance? Is that what it is? I guess it has a connection to ByteDance. Yeah, The Verge says that Marvel Snap, the superhero card battler, its publisher is owned by ByteDance. So there you go. Crazy. Uffy said that your TikTok page is still up for the rest of the world. Uffy, our viewer Uffy, it's strange because you think like no one can see it, but Uffy can see my TikTok page and other TikTok pages because Uffy is in Sweden. Thank you, Uffy. Rurally in Yart says, take it from Generation X, you will survive without TikTok. We used to call people on the phone and actually have conversations. Try it. That's from our viewer, Rurally in Yart. Rick Mack said some VPN services were having issues. They are not part of the ban. So maybe too many people were signing up to them. I don't know. Yeah, I've noticed that if you go to Down Detector, if you look up some VPN services, as our viewers said, some of them are seen to be having, well, they were having issues a little while ago. It seems like a lot of the issues have stopped. They were having issues like an hour or two ago. So my guess is maybe that a lot of people started flooding them. But if you search for VPNs on Down Detector, you'll see a short while ago, a number of them were having a lot of issues, but it looks like the issues are getting fixed. Thank you to Rick Mack for mentioning the VPNs. Nico's Kitchen says it's not working in Australia, TikTok. Well, that would be some sort of just issue with TikTok, but has nothing to do with the US ban, if that's true. Larry Osborne mentioned RedNote. RedNote is an app, a Chinese app that a number of TikTok users recently have been checking out. I have not checked it out yet. Oh, thank you to Lord Cog, who just gave a bunch of people memberships. That's really nice of you, Lord Cog. Thank you. Also, thanks to Denise Horton. Denise Horton says, thousands of people with disabilities paid rent because of TikTok. Blind people, autistic people, also people suffering from depression, burn victims, etc. You're saying they would like get donations from their channels, from their posts and stuff, and live streams? Will it come back? It's not clear. So we discussed this earlier. Trump told NBC News today that he would, I think he said he would likely give TikTok a 90-day extension, but it's not clear he can legally do that. Because the law says the president can give a 90-day extension, but only if significant progress has been made toward a sale. And reportedly, that has not happened at this point. Hang on a moment here. You can see President Trump, says AP, said he was thinking about giving a TikTok a 90-day extension that would allow them to continue operating. If such an extension happens, Trump, who once favored a TikTok ban, said it would probably be announced Monday. But you can only give that 90-day extension if significant progress has been made toward... Yeah, the statute allows the sitting president to extend the deadline by 90 days if a sale... Well, this says if a sale is in progress, but basically if significant progress has been made toward a sale. But it's not clear that that has actually happened. So I don't know if he'll definitely do that or try to do it. If he tries to do it, will that be allowed? And would that be if he gave a 90-day extension and there was no issue with like the courts overturning it, would that be enough for TikTok and other companies to come back and say, okay, we'll come back on for 90 days? Will TikTok and the companies it works with, like Google, Apple, and Oracle, be willing to come back for 90 days? That's a good question. I don't know. You know, one thing that might happen, let me just throw this out there. Might TikTok be looking at the reaction in the US? If TikTok thinks people are really mad about this, Trump's going to get a lot of complaints about it. Might TikTok say, if Trump says you get 90 days, might TikTok say, no, that's not good enough? What's 90 days going to do? We're not coming back until this is really figured out. Because this would be, they would have some leverage if there's a lot of anger in the U.S. over it. That would be some leverage for them to use in the negotiations. Thank you, Hebrew Jerusalem Prince, who says Mark Zuckerberg is sleeping with a smile on his face. I bet other rival social media applications are not necessarily unhappy about this. Paygirl says lots be going to psychologists freaking out. Thank you, Flippin' Ain't Easy, who says, according to the TikTok app, when you click on Learn More, it should take you to a place to log in and find your edits. You mean that, like if you edited a video, Learn More. Yes, you can. Yes, our viewer is correct. Thanks for mentioning this. If you go to TikTok and you get this message and you click on Learn More, I'm going to show you what you get if you click on learn more. Hold on a moment here. Can I do this? Wait, just give me one moment. Give me one moment and I'm going to show you this. I just have to get the photo on the screen for you. Where are my photos? I'll send it to myself here. Okay. Oh, here it is. Look, here it is right here. Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. In the meantime, you can still log in to download your data. You can download your data. Oh, you know what? Someone sent me an email, and I think it's on a different account. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Okay. Mystic NZ says, I posted a workaround using a VPN. It is currently 12:40. TikTok has been shut down for about 2 hours now. The soonest it could come back is Monday. And that would be, I guess, if Trump did something like, say, we give you a 90-day extension, and they're like, okay, fine. I don't know if it's going to be that simple. On Smash Media says Lemonade, which is also owned by ByteDance, is gone. VPN or changing a region does not work either. The app is gone. Ivy Agnes Wynn says, VPN is not working for me. An American who tried to use a VPN to connect via Canada and the UK. Tim D. Lawson says there are plenty of other platforms. Purple Worm Cake says, we are not free. Yes, the TikTok CEO, Rich Mix, is still going to the inauguration and to the rally today. I am planning on covering the rally and the inauguration, obviously. I did not expect, we came on the air early, and I thought, well, maybe they'll shut it down at midnight. It got shut down at like 10:30. One person in the chat said it didn't work, and I checked my phone, and then I said they had already posted it. Hebrew Jerusalem Prince says, how could Trump do it when Monday is a holiday? I don't know that it being a holiday would affect what kind of... I think he can come out with an executive order on any day. I don't know that there's anything preventing him from doing it. Hold on a second here. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Thank you, Hebrew Jerusalem Prince, by the way. Thanks also to Patrick Malone, who says TikTok is a Chinese spy app, period. Thank you also, Motivational Living, who says we still have it in Canada. You know what I also wonder? I wonder to what degree this ban got passed. How important was it in passing this ban that people in Congress probably don't use it. My guess is that most members of Congress don't use this and really don't even know much about it. And I do wonder if that's true, if they did use it and they were more familiar with it, would not have been so quick to vote for a ban. Kimberly Joanne says, I'm sure their family members do. I wonder how some of those conversations are going. Rich Mix says, people made their living on TikTok. Imagine getting fired tonight. Spectre says, Congress's grandkids probably do, and they will hear about a lot about it. You know, one thing that could happen we haven't talked about, and I should have, Congress could vote to undo the ban. Now, I know you would need a majority in both houses, or I guess if there's going to be a filibuster, 60 senators, but Congress would have to pass another law undoing the original law. Congress can do that. Now, it would be a big change. It would be a big change because the original vote was yes. So the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, which is the ban bill, it passed the House 352 to 65. And it passed, and then it passed the House as H.R. 8038, 360 to 58, passed the Senate 79 to 18. So it passed by a lot in both houses. But you never know. If enough people in Congress change their mind, could they repeal it? You know, as you guys are saying, what if their nieces and nephews and grandkids are complaining to them? So could Congress change its mind? Now, I don't know if that'd be the best look to do that. Oh, also, a real sportsman says Congress doesn't act fast. Matt Machine thinks if Trump tells them to do it, they'll do it. Republicans will vote however he wants them to. The thing is, Matt Machine, I don't know about all Republicans. I mean, I saw, like, for example, Josh Hawley, who's a Republican senator. I saw an interview with him yesterday where he said that he was not happy that I'm paraphrasing here, but he was not a fan of the TikTok CEO coming to the inauguration as Trump's guest. He gave an interview where he said that was not cool. He was not on board with that, basically. So I don't know if all of them would change their vote on this. It's a good question. Steffi thinks there will be a new app to fill the void that real life was supposed to fill. This one is, I think this is going to be really especially tough for people who use it and create on it to swallow, because it's one thing if there was like, I think a lot of people are going to be like, what was the reason for this? They're not going to see the reason. Now, I know what the argument is, but it's not like it didn't go out of business. It wasn't that it wasn't making money. And it wasn't like there was some, you can imagine that the company did something that just raised outrage in the U.S. I maintain there was not a general outrage about TikTok in the U.S. And the vast majority of people who used it did, and I would say other people as well, did not walk around being really concerned all day about TikTok. So I think a lot of people are just going to feel like this is crazy that this happened. But again, the two main motivating concerns for the law were, one, that the app could result in sensitive personal data of Americans ending up in the hands of the Chinese government, and also that the app could be used by the Chinese government to influence American opinion. Danny G says it's about the control of information. Cambridge says this is a political game, one of many coming our way. What a waste of time. Jason Carlton says, let's see what countries follow suit. Shig Shug says the reason is politics. The Weed US Ama says, what if it really is a national security risk? I'm not telling you what to think about that. What I'm saying is, I think a lot of people in the US didn't really think of it as such. That doesn't mean it's not. I also don't know that Congress and the president, it's one thing for them to vote on this ban. But it's another thing to make their case to the public about it. I don't know that that case was successfully made to the public to win the public over. Gringo says, imagine trusting Zuckerberg. Elon Musk posted tonight that X is looking into bringing back Vine. Vine was he replied to somebody on X and said, we're looking into bringing back Vine. Vine was a platform where people could post 6-second or less videos. I mean, I don't know how seriously they're looking into bringing back Vine. You can just say you are, but I don't know. Anyways. I'm just seeing if I have any more updates for you here. Anthony T sent me a picture and said, meanwhile in the Japanese Google Play Store, and it just shows TikTok there. Aaron Nolf says, I will miss all the battles on TikTok. When people are, a couple of our viewers, Van Dan said that, when they mean the battles on TikTok, do they mean like fighting games, or do they mean like first-person shooter games where people were live streaming these? Maybe, I'm not sure. Mike says, show us people freaking out. By the way, here is an update from Reuters here. Hold on. Where is that for you? TikTok goes dark for U.S. users. Company pins hope on Trump. TikTok, which has captivated nearly half of all Americans, powered small businesses and shaped online culture. Warned it would go dark on Sunday, blah, 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 blah. The Chinese embassy in Washington on Friday accused the U.S. of using unfair state power to suppress TikTok. China will take all necessary measures to resolutely safeguard its legitimate rights and interests, a spokesperson said. Uncertainty over the app's future had sent users, mostly young people, Younger people scrambling to alternatives, including China-based Red Note. Rivals Meta and Snap had also seen their share prices rise this month ahead of the ban as investors bet on an influx of users in advertising dollars. The TikTok CEO plans to attend the U.S. presidential inauguration and attend a rally with Trump on Sunday, a source told Reuters. By the way, ByteDance has more than 7,000 employees in the U.S. So what will happen to the ByteDance employees? That I don't know. Thank you, Haniel Vargas. Haniel says, I've been banned from my account. You mean on TikTok? Thank you, Fixie Clary, who says, most members of Congress here have no idea what a cell phone is, much less the internet. Thank you, Tanner Toxicity, who says, only American companies should be able to harvest our data and push political propaganda. Cough, Facebook cough. X, Twitter. Rob Zilla says, the dancing stops. Gina Tucker says, laid off, I bet. Yeah, I mean, 7,000 employees of ByteDance. Thanks, Ohio Rando, who says battles were where users would appear in split screen and people would send gifts which equal points. Winners declared after like 5 minutes. You know, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know there were these battle things on TikTok. There were some restaurant review accounts I follow where these people would just go into restaurants, not necessarily fancy restaurants. A lot of them weren't that fancy, but they would just go into them and do these short reviews of them. All kinds of fun accounts. I'm going to start thinking about all the accounts I'll miss. I'm going to be sad. Maybe it'll come back. Triketra says they were still told to report for the week, to work for the week. I think I had seen a report like that. I'm not sure if it's true. But I don't know what's going to happen to them long term. Actius Lunar says, will anti-Trump TikTok users come back to TikTok if they have Trump to thank for it? I think if people like using TikTok, they'll come back as long as it's back. Jelly Plane thinks 170 million can't be active users, maybe downloads. I had seen, I think Pew Research maybe said there were around 100 million active users, I think, in the US. Onyx Sanders says, all these countries use state power to manipulate markets. They only squeal unfair when it's done to them. Oh, Sama says, I love TikTok for old footage of musicians and something else in concerts. Yeah, there's some really good stuff there. I will say this. Now, sometimes I think people violated copyright on TikTok. I know they did. And they would post like a clip of a movie or something. But I got to say, sometimes people would like post a clip of something and that would actually get me interested in the whole thing and lead me to, I first found out about, there's a documentary, I don't know if it was Netflix or Hulu. Someone did a documentary about the making of We Are the World. I didn't know it existed. And then I saw people posting clips of it on TikTok, and that made me go watch the whole thing. It's very good, by the way. There I go aging myself again, but it's very good. The We Are the World documentary is really good. And I only knew about it because I saw it on TikTok. Thanks, Mr. Mulligan, for your support. Mr. Mulligan says, Cobra Kai never dies. How about Keith Lee, the restaurant reviewer Keith Lee? Many people enjoyed Keith Lee's videos. Rob says it's on YouTube. Fraggle Rock says it is a good documentary. Just Being Jen says next they will come after YouTube. No, I think the We Are the World one was a new documentary, by the way. Yes, it's a Netflix documentary. It's a Netflix documentary that came out at the end of last year. The Greatest Night in Pop. Came out last year. It's very good. Someone asked about the ceasefire. I may do a stream, possibly, if I can get footage of a hostage release. I don't know that I will have footage of a hostage release. I'm not going to do a stream about a ceasefire where I just say, hey, the ceasefire started. I mean, we covered the ceasefire announcement, but I'm not just going to say, hey, the ceasefire started. I mean, it starts. I think it's a great thing that it starts, if it starts. But if I got to have something. I mean, there's got to be something more than that to do the stream. So if I do get footage available of a hostage release, maybe I'll do a stream for that. I got to look into it. I'm not sure what I'll have access to. Sharon Nowlin says it may not happen. Yeah, now Jonah Cat says it's not starting. I saw some reporting saying that Netanyahu had said, like, they haven't given us a list of the hostages yet, so the ceasefire is not progressing or something like that. I got to look it up. I can probably get you a report on that. But I don't want to get too into that right now because we're not covering that right here. But we might. It just, again, I'm not going to do literally a stream just to mark the time that the ceasefire starts. So that stream we're not doing. But maybe I'll do one again to cover hostage release. Yeah, here, Israeli Prime Minister says ceasefire will not start until Hamas release hostages list. That's from 3 minutes ago from Reuters. Again, I don't want to get too into this, but the Israeli Prime Minister said Gaza's ceasefire, due to start in half an hour, will not begin until the Palestinian militant group Hamas provides a list of hostages to be released. We'll talk about this for a bit more because I think it's just crazy that it's amazing and crazy that this got shut down. We'll take a few more comments from you. I'll try to get a few more updates on it. Let's see here. Scott Hare says, talk about China pot calling the kettle black. I think you're referring to some comment that China made that I read about in an article, but I can't remember what the comment was. Our viewer Joey thinks that a forced shutdown of TikTok for U.S. citizens is an unprecedented and dangerous overreach in censorship, one that sets a dangerous precedent for government control over free expression. Joey thinks this is a free speech violation. The Supreme Court did not agree with that. Joey says this isn't just about TikTok, it's about whether we as individuals have the right to choose how we engage with the world and what information we consume. He says it's an attempt to limit what citizens can and cannot engage with in a digital age. That's what our viewer Joey said. Joey says, what are we willing to give up in the name of security and at what cost to our liberty? All right, hang on a moment here. We'll have to see what happens on Monday. Does Trump come out on Monday and, for example, try to give TikTok an extension? Would that be enough for TikTok to come back for 90 days? I don't know. By the way, I am planning on covering the Trump rally later today and also the inauguration. Well, later today because it's Sunday here, and also the inauguration on Monday. I'm looking up the thing about the hostages. In theory, Reuters said it's not even clear, like if hostages were released today, which might be happening, it's not even clear when that would be. Looks like maybe sometime after 10 a.m. Eastern? Is that right? Or maybe 8 a.m. Eastern? The timing might be weird. Gina Tucker says, let's see what happens when all those creators ask for government assistance. Thank you, Mr. Mulligan. I appreciate that, Mr. Mulligan. Thank you. Vasil Mometko, thank you. Vasil says, I think the government should let the people vote. Don't take away. Also, is TikTok going to affect the stock market? Well, one of the articles I was reading, you said that stock prices of other apps, like I believe Meta and Snap, had gone up because investors were assuming that more ad money would be spent on these. So that's one way it already has affected the stock market. As to other effects, I don't know. Is ByteDance a publicly traded stock in the US or not? I have no idea. Or is ByteDance privately held? It's headquartered in Beijing. I'm not seeing that it's traded on a U.S. stock market. So, you know what I should do? Hold on. Paul says it's private. ChatGPT says it is a privately held company and does not trade on any public stock market. They quote the Motley Fool. So the Wall Street Journal says that TikTok's disappearance could be brief because President-elect Trump said he will likely give TikTok a 90-day extension after he takes office on Monday. We'll see if that happens. It's not clear he can do that, though, because that would require there to be significant evidence of a significant move, a significant progress towards a sale, and not clear that there has been significant progress towards a sale. Max101 says, why can't they let US manage the data and just take the profits? So the question of like, why don't they just sell it to the US? That's a good question. I don't know the exact thinking on this. Maybe, I mean, one thing I'm thinking of is maybe they don't want to set a precedent of being made to do this kind of thing by the US or other countries. Let's see here. There could be a lot of reasons. By the way, are any of our viewers, I don't know if any of our viewers are, I'm sure that there must be people who use TikTok, like popular creators who are like streaming on Instagram about this or streaming on YouTube. Have any of our viewers watched like creators they follow posting about this or streaming about this tonight? I would assume that's happening. I don't know where they're doing this. We'll see what our chat says. Nicholas D thinks it needed to be banned. Oh, Red Note? Maybe they're on Red Note doing it. Yeah. Let's see. Sama says streamers sent everyone to Red Note and what? And Instagram. Mojave Menace said, I tried finding them on YouTube Live. They're just gone. Terry says some went live on YouTube. Oh, Twitch as well. That'd be another place, Twitch. But it's different. I mean, you know, if they're making short videos on TikTok, their thing on TikTok probably wasn't doing long form live video. I like the color green, says people are on YouTube Live. TJ says 99% of them will have Instagram also. Lisa's Day Off says other creators are talking about it. Sama says a lot of streamers simply said goodbye. It's sad. I mean, there could be a lot of them who just don't want to talk tonight. Think of how upsetting this is. Jen Duvall said many went to YouTube. Evany said a bunch I follow have posted about it on their Instagram stories. I saw a couple YouTube shorts. I'll have to see, after the stream, I'll have to look around and see what people are posting. Maybe some people I follow. The Verge, the tech news publication The Verge, says that since no one wants to be seen as responsible for banning it, that suggests the app may not be gone for good. But there's no definitive plan coming right now from Biden, Trump, ByteDance, or TikTok, so it's unclear. So, hey, this is interesting. Remember I was telling you guys to what degree, TikTok, I don't know if I don't know how voluntary this shutdown was, because the companies that work with TikTok that TikTok needs to work with it to get TikTok to end users in the US like Oracle and Google and Apple, They might not have wanted to defy the ban even if it wasn't being enforced. But what I was saying to you is maybe TikTok voluntarily did this or shut down early to make people angry, to put pressure on the U.S. government. So Bloomberg actually said that by preemptively taking the platform offline all at once and earlier than anticipated, TikTok has a chance of mobilizing its enormous user base into protest. It's possible the users will demand action from politicians. That's what Bloomberg said. Wow. Well, it really happened. It really happened. All right, I'll take a few more comments here. Again, I think I'm only going to realize this when later I go to use it and then I realize I can't use it. I'm going to miss it. I am going to miss it. And I wasn't like a hours and hours a day user of it, but I'm going to miss it. Rob Altus says Douyin and TikTok are both from ByteDance, but they don't show the same things. Heavy censorship on Douyin. That's what Rob says. Missy Karate says, I'm not sure why so many content creators think it's the end so many other places. I mean, I think, I understand what you're saying. You can post your content other places, but your following might not make it over there. Maybe they're not interested in being in those other places. It's just the way it works. Also, suppose you're popular on TikTok. The TikTok algorithm likes you. It shows you to a lot of people. You create a new account or go over to another platform where you're not popular. You have to build up that popularity. You have to, maybe the algorithm on other platform, whatever it is, other platform Z, doesn't really show your videos a lot, Thanks to Mr. Mulligan. Hey, Mr. Mulligan, sometimes when the big stories happen, you have to just rush online. I mean, this we had covered before, so I knew something about it, but, depends on the story. But sometimes with stories, we just have to rush online as soon as possible. Rush on the air. Depends on the story. Thank you, Mr. Mulligan. Thank you, I Love Cookies, by the way, for the gift membership. Guys, I think we may be getting close. I don't know that I have much more to report on this right now. So Fuchs mentioned that someone posted a supposed 911 call, which I haven't listened to. I don't know if it's legit, but I know that I had heard unconfirmed reports that possibly some people were calling and complaining to 911 about this. I don't have any reports suggesting that's widespread. Maybe some people did. I don't really know. I don't have, good information, but, if you maybe search on social media, you can find it. So sorry, I was muted. Yeah. So I guess there was like a 911 call about TikTok or something. But anyways. Maybe somebody did call 911. That'd probably not be a use. Well, it would not be use of appropriate 911 unless you can imagine if somebody was so upset that they were getting violent or something. But anyways, I'm sure a lot of people are incredibly upset about this. I know that's the fact. That's a fact. It's crazy though. It's really crazy. All right, I think we're getting close to that time. Carry Your Shield thinks it's the MySpace of this generation. Manny Fabian says that there will be a press conference by the IDF spokesman at 8:30 when the ceasefire in Gaza is supposed to take effect. Look, if I found out that the ceasefire was off, like really off, like off, yeah, I'd do a stream about that. I don't know that I'm going to do a stream about maybe like the ceasefire has been delayed for 2 hours because there's last minute negotiations. I don't know. I'm going to assume it's on. Sounds like there's some last minute hiccups. I'm going to assume it's happening. If I'm awake and I have hostage returning footage, we'll cover it. That's how I'm leaving it. Okay. All right. So look, we'll keep an eye on this situation. If there's some big development, maybe we'll do another stream on it. If it's like coming back or it looks like it's going to come back, or if it looks like it'll never come back, that would be big news too. If it's really, I don't know. We did a poll earlier in the stream. Do you think it'll come back next week? And about slightly more than half of you thought yes, but over 40% thought no. Travis B says, let's all call our senators tomorrow. I don't know what kind of political pressure is going to be put on politicians. Maybe it'll be a lot. Maybe a lot of people had kind of heard about this, but didn't really think it was going to happen. And when it actually happens, there'll be a lot of people angry about it. Maybe, young people will complain to their parents and the parents will call about it. I don't know. It's a really good question of what is the politics of this? Again, Congress can vote to repeal the law if they really want to. They could just vote to repeal it. So I honestly don't know what where this is going and how long it'll be down for. I'm not sure it'll ever be back. I think it's more like, I think it's going to be back. Although maybe at least for 90 days, but will they come back for 90 days? I don't know. So it's crazy. But I really feel for all of the creators and the people who who created on it and who made a business out of it. Obviously, I feel for people who watched it, and people who created a community. People probably had communities over there where they got together with their friends and they became close to people there. And so it impacts a lot of people. But this is what the Congress has chosen to do. And again, Congress says it's for the good of national security. So I'm not telling you what to think about that. But either way, I feel really bad for people. Julie thinks it's done. Nick Van Sickle says everyone was warned. But it wasn't really clear this was going to happen. Thank you, Mr. Mulligan. I appreciate that. So it really is. I know I keep saying it, but it's just like stunning to me that it really has happened. TikTok doesn't work anymore. One of the most popular apps in the country. Around 100 million regular users. About half the country would use it, and about 100 million regular users from what I've seen. It just stopped. Doesn't work anymore. In the U.S. It works in a lot of other countries. It still works. No Sense says user base will explode when it comes back. Uncle Floyd thinks USA earns bad reputation, toxic business environment, lawmakers picking and choosing winners per usual. Bash and Girl says cleaning up the internet one app at a time. Yeah, it's going to be busy the next couple of days. I'm planning on covering the Trump rally. I'm planning on cover today, later. I'm planning on covering the inauguration, of course. Maybe we'll do some ceasefire coverage. So let me. I don't know. We'll have to see. So, oh, hold on. Let me just see. Hold on a second. Some people sent me some things. Hold on. Yeah, people are sending me a lot of messages, so I'm sorry I didn't get to all of the. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of the comments. Yeah, I got a lot of comments. Hold on. Thanks, Chris Marsh, for writing in. Yeah, so. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. Hold on a second here. So I really appreciate you watching our live coverage of the TikTok ban taking effect and the shutdown of TikTok. Wow. Although TikTok shut it down earlier than the ban deadline. And it doesn't work. Oh, and by the way, I never updated my headline because I put that headline up there when it shut down ahead of the ban. I mean, it's still valid. But before I get off the air, I'll say in U.S. as ban takes effect. That doesn't really tell the whole story. Anyways, I will post updates on my X account, and if there's big enough development in this story, we will cover it more. So subscribe, follow Agenda Free TV. We got more coverage coming up this week on other news stories too, a bunch of other coverage. Subscribe, follow Agenda Free TV. Turn on the notifications. We have a free notification system. It works great. You sign up for free, and then you get sent a notification whenever we go live. A lot of time I don't know when we're coming on the air. It just depends on when the big news happens. So that at least will get you a notification so you don't miss a stream. The mods will post the link to the notifications in the chat. You can also find it on the Facebook and YouTube. In the Facebook and YouTube descriptions of this broadcast, you can find that link. And I'll post on my X account @Lookner on X. I will post updates on this when I see it, on other stories when they happen. So follow me over there for breaking news coverage @Lookner on X. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in, sending in your comments and your links and news updates, and watching the channel. Thank you for tuning in for our coverage, sharing what your experiences tonight with TikTok and what was going on with you, with the app and everything. So thank you for sharing. And also, huge thanks to our moderators. We had so many people discussing this in the chat tonight, and we couldn't have our chat rooms without our moderators. So big shout out to our moderators over there on YouTube right now. Ruth Krafasi there on YouTube, Janet B. Thank you. And all of our other YouTube moderators, thanks so much. Roberts May Queen over on Twitch. Bash and Girl, I Got That Fire, Mark and NC, and Surly Dev. And our other Twitch moderators are Linda Belkin Larry on X and K. Larry Body over there, and Paul Anderson over on Facebook. Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody who donated to the channel. Super nice of you guys. Thanks to Jennifer Asbury. No, the hostage release is not supposed to happen in 5 minutes. That's just false. That's not true. That's not the information I'm getting at all. I think the ceasefire was technically supposed to start soon, but it's delayed. But the hostage release was not supposed to be till later in the day. That's my understanding. So if I'm awake and I find out I have hostage release footage that I can show you, I'll probably come on the air and cover it. That's my understanding of the situation. Marnie says, sad how many folks are losing money over this. A lot of people work as creators on TikTok. So thank you, Jennifer Asbury, also, and Mr. Mulligan and Clay Turner, Iowa. Thank you, and Gabriel Morrow. It is if TikTok is down in another country, that's not related to the ban. Maybe there's a problem with it somewhere, but it's not related to the ban in the U.S. And everybody who donated, that's super nice of you. Thank you for allowing me to do this channel. Douthis, thanks for the gift sub, Douthis, and Oxytropis, thanks for your support on Twitch as well. If you ever want to donate, go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv. But huge thanks for your support of the channel. Let's see here. What else was I going to mention? We have a chat. I was just checking the news for a second. We have a chat where you can chat with other viewers when we are not live. It's free. The Agenda Free TV Discord chat. Check out the Discord chat. It's free. The link to the chat is the same link as the free notifications link. So you can use the same link and check out the chat as well. And big thanks to our Discord moderators. Thanks for all you do over on Discord. Our viewer, John Doerr, John Doerr MV Martha's Vineyard says, TikTok has been available in the US since 2016. Shocking just now they shut it down. Was it 2016? I should check that. I don't even know when people first started using it. Now, ChatGPT says it officially launched in the US in 2018. But I'm confused. It's a little confusing here. Let's see what Wikipedia says. There was some extra data there. Well, no, Wikipedia said initial release 2016. I don't know if that's when it was in the US, though. Anyways, I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's been around for years, put it that way. It has been around for years. And yeah, it is pretty stunning to see this happen. As I mentioned, the New York Times said, for some perspective, the United States has never blocked an app used by tens of millions of Americans essentially overnight. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you do watch us on, one other thing you can follow for updates about the channel is our Agenda Free TV X account. I post there when we're going live. I post scheduling updates there. I post news about the channel. Follow us on X at Agenda Free TV. And also, if you watch on Facebook, if you watch on YouTube, I would suggest turning on the YouTube notifications. But to do that, I just want to mention how to do that because it's kind of funky. If you watch on YouTube, there's a channel. If you subscribe, you got to subscribe to turn on the notifications. But if you do subscribe, you want to make sure you have the notifications bell checked here and choose all notifications. All right. Hey, I want to shout out our Facebook subscribers for supporting the channel, like Lynn Powell, Robert Rial II, Kay Lowry, Body Margaret Riley, Eve Richards, Diane Allworth, Marianne Sell says TikTok is still going in Canada. And all of our other Facebook subscribers. Did I say Lynn Powell? Lynn Powell, too. Thank you, Facebook subscribers. Lou Green. Thanks also to our to our Twitch subscribers. I want to thank them. Like Wall Street and Shaggy and Douthis, Melky GS, Poco, JRG 770, Gina Pina. J-Tide. Thank you. All of our Twitch subscribers. Thanks so much for your support for the channel. And also our YouTube members like Gringo and Chris N and Mama of Six and Joe Hart, Director Pepper, Crypto King, Adam Galaxy, Turned Off, Steel Bangin', Justin D, UV Lightning, Naomi Nocturnal. Look, maybe it'll be back. Maybe in a few days it'll come back and it'll get worked out and all will be fine for the TikTok users and creators. You never know. We'll have to see. I'm not sure. Thanks to Regdor, T-Narg, Rich Mix, our YouTube members, Crypto King, Cheryl Simpson, Marcel Kern, JD63, Left-Handed, Joel PM, Barry, Justin D, Joner Games, Sabin Nation, Danny G, Barry, El Nini, Shibestein, The Ringa X, thanks for being members, Joel Brown, Jason Holt, Raven Knight, and all of our other viewers too. Thanks everybody for watching. Cami says this is critical now. Jules Henderson, thanks for being a member. Dave J says, why didn't some U.S. company come up with a good clone for TikTok? I mean, that algorithm is a key part of TikTok, and I don't think it's necessarily easy to recreate it. Also, you'd have to like bring users over, right? It's hard if you just start an app from scratch and nobody's using it. A lot of people don't want to go use an app that no one is using it. So you don't get the, it's more fun to use a video app if lots of people are already posting videos on it. Bastion Girl says, YouTube Shorts is supposed to be an alternative. Thanks Twinkle Doe for watching. Thanks PsyOps. Layla Sims, thanks for watching. All right, I think it's time. John Durham says, I don't support the TikTok ban. Thanks Peachy Keen for watching as well. All right, Dennis McNeely as well. All right, guys, so I'm wrapping up the stream. It really happened. It doesn't work. I'm going to TikTok on my phone right now. Hey, I want to watch some videos like I always do. Oh my gosh, it's not available. I can't watch anything. It's not available. A law banning it has been enacted. It is for the time being shut down. All right, guys. Somebody asked about the Discord. You can, in the description of this video, you can find the link to the Discord chat. The mods posted it, but somebody just posted it too. Nightbot just posted it. Thank you, Roberts May Queen. All right, guys. So that is it for now. Thank you for watching our coverage. I think it's incredible of TikTok shutting down in the U.S. as the TikTok ban takes effect. Will it be back in 2 days or later? If it's back, for how long is it going to be back? We don't know. We just don't know. We'll have to see what happens. All right. That is it for now. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon with more live news coverage, more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.